Howdy folks, welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and many other evenings, and joining me are my friends Matt, Cara, Olive, and Dan will be joining us shortly as well. Ari is not feeling the best tonight and is not joining us, but will hopefully be rejoining us in the near future. Ari, hope you're feeling better very soon. And hello, Talon. Happy to see you as well. A couple of announcements, as is tradition, before we jump into our game. First of all, your support makes all this possible, so thank you. At AlberonRPG on Instagram, on Threads, on Blue Sky, on Patreon, on all those different things. You can see old sessions, you can see close-ups of maps, miniatures, things like this that are on our table. You can see in much greater detail at AlberonRPG. Tomorrow, you can join our D&D group at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the Wandering Hearts decide on their next course of action outside of the Emerald Spire, perhaps. And then we have a whole bunch of other games that are coming up. This weekend, you will not be able to see it played live, but the next Alberon After Dark is going to be being played. It is the...
Second?
Blood of the Alchemist.
It is the second, right? Yeah, it's the second. It is the Blood Alchemist Dungeon. It is a Shadow Dark game that is going to be a absolute grindhouse, as all of the players are bringing 8 different characters to the table, and people will be drinking every time that they die. That you will need to be a Patreon subscriber to be able to see. But
I'm bartending again.
Yeah. We're gonna have great drinks. We're gonna have interesting drinks. We're gonna have very interesting drinks. I'm not committed to great yet because I can't like picture how they're going to taste. But you can see what we're talking about at AlberonRPG over on Patreon. And then Monument Studios Music plays some of this music, like what you're hearing right now, in fact. We also have Sirenscape to thank for sound. And that is all of the announcements that we have for this week. It is time for Mosaic Team 5. And to Cara with the recap.
Mosaic Team 5. When last we played, us babies infiltrated Chesterfield's compound, a subterranean lab underneath an old decrepit gas station near the glowing canal in Aphrodite. We had a very brief standoff and then rolled for initiative as Chesterfield reveals spidery appendages and activates defenses. Chesterfield immediately opens a cage to a giant spider-like creature that Echo then ran over and shot down. The rest of the team encountered a neural lash-like creature, invisible to the eye, but devastating nonetheless. Gibbs and Bubs are able to contain it, while Shade and Spice peeled off from that fight to investigate other locales within the battlefield. Spice went directly to a chamber that seemed to have been locked, and inside, a scientist of some sort sweated. Shade came over immediately to go for Chesterfield and keep him occupied, discovering quickly that Chesterfield had many interesting defenses at his disposal.
Evolutionary.
Using his mutations to his advantage, his skin protected him from the flames of Shade's rune plates, from the acid of Echo's disintegrator pistol, and he destroyed the console, releasing the creatures onto the battlefield and locking the scientist in his chamber. Spice, however, is able to get around such matters, as she just punched through the wall. Because as we all know, Spice, delicate beauty that she is, has the most devastating punch of all of us. Only emboldened with her gloves. Intimidating and
beautiful.
Good looking. Spice stepped
Intimidating
through
and inspiring.
and, threatened on pain of death and torture a seeming hostage into helping get the generator back online now that the power had been destroyed. None of us were afraid of that. Indeed, as the battle raged on, Bubs kept the monsters at bay, while Shade and Echo attempted to whittle down Chesterfield's health. But it was ultimately Gibbs, with a powerful mind thrust, who brought Chesterfield to his knees, and Echo, who delivered a final blow, laying Chesterfield's body, face intact, at her feet. Gibbs attempts to use grave words to get some last information from Chesterfield, but unfortunately, his last grave words were never. So we will never know. It is at this moment that Gibbs reflects on the nature of Chesterfield and of intent and in action and all that other sort of thing, which is great and totally relevant because the rest of us are thinking only about the fact that we're about to get blown sky high as we are racing off to the Palace of Oras, where our employee, Mubu Kitaruxis.
I would say contractor.
Contractor?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Outside
He's on a 1099.
contractor.
You guys
yeah.
are definitely not paying
Subcontracted
self
bound.
insurance.
Some contractor. That's the thing. Yes.
Subcontractor.
Because we are contracted.
Contract.
Oh boy, yeah.
Anyway, our 1099 employee, who's definitely here for the gig economy, turns out to be much more than we had previously thought, as this
$18 an
skittermander
hour is
just
fine.
scales the side of the building and systematically takes care of the infestation inside the palace, eliminating one by one the threats of the upper levels. Time ticks down, and we are, I believe, only about 3 minutes out from the spectacular glitter-infused explosion that the palace will soon see. We encountered a room full of neural fibers that seemed to connect to a larger predator down below. And as we descend the staircase, looking out across the battlefield filled with biomancers, detritus, debris, and junk, we look at a giant beast called the Godmouth. And this is almost where we begin our session.
The best part about that was Dan walked in and you were looking at him right when you said the giant creature, the Godmouth, and it's Dan with the Hisoki ears. Phenomenal. Thank you, Cara. So, absolutely, all of you have executed a plan. Oh, sorry.
What's our theme, Joe?
Thank you.
Please.
We, as some people noticed in the chat, we actually do have a theme that is occurring this evening. The theme is extraterrestrials. And so everybody here dressed in their greatest extraterrestrial attire. It's very close. I think we're quite close in this regard.
Yeah, it's probably me.
But ultimately, I think that Olive, you win the reroll with the fake arms.
Nice.
Though Captain Marvel is a close second. And also, for those of you who don't know, that is a handmade garment,
Oh, my
which is phenomenal.
It is the
horse
source
shirt?
of all my hubris.
I am very jealous of that. Very, very cool.
Do I get a... do we
Yes,
have to-
and because it is June and the month of Pride, you have a Pride reroll.
Oh,
right
I
there.
get... Oh, it's natural 17,
Hey,
everybody.
look at that.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
25.
25. Oh, yeah.
It'd be... Oh, my God. Yay!
Wait, where are the other 5? What?
Oh,
Anyways,
25s.
25s. Oh, gotcha.
That's a
Don't
So-
think about it.
Don't think about it too hard. That brings us to this evening. Give me 1 second here. So, for all of you having begun to execute this plan, a trio of strikes against the Biomancers of Oras, all timed to occur at the same exact moment. You have 2 minutes until these explosions begin. It is 2:58 a.m. You know that Gladira Mombomba, this person that you have contracted to help with the demolitions, lies in wait on the Brumble Street Bridge. They've confirmed that they are in location. You know that the floating munitions have made their way to the glowing canal. You are all very close to the spot that you will need to detonate to finish this objective, but in front of you, there is this massive ooze-like creature that seems to be taking up most of the space. In front of you, also in this space, you can see a smattering of different containers. You can see on the poured concrete floor and across these sort of elements of stone wall here, there are bits of like tattered paper, long since faded, and you can hear movement. Here and there in the darkness, there is shuffling of feet. And it is dim light, not true darkness. For there is a pulsing glow that comes from within the sludge in this central chamber. Let me pull up our combat camera here. For all of you, in the moment, it does not appear that you have been spotted. And to preserve this, as she is beginning to make a lot of noise in this moment, Gibbs excuses themselves upstairs.
But not too far upstairs as to touch the neural networks.
Exactly. Nice middle ground. You do have the aid of your Skittermander ally, who has been healed somewhat, Mubu Kitarexis. They are with you kind of in the darkness of the stairway, maybe 15 feet up from the very bottom, where you can all see this unfolding beneath you. You only have 2 minutes. What are you doing?
What is this thing in front of us? This giant... It's presumably nothing that is like anything we've encountered before based on...
Make a life sciences check.
I don't know. It kind of looks like something we encountered before.
I mean,
whether
I guess
or not
we do
actually know this.
Yeah, I guess we do know based on the info that we had. Is it...
Does it look like
the
debrators
ooze
in
the swarm
asteroid?
psychodebrader?
Oh, that's not what I thought. Okay.
Does it look like the Primanism?
Yes.
Or I
In
guess
ways.
the Primanism, too.
It's a gigantic ooze. It does seem to be growing. And you see in this moment one of these creatures. You can tell that they were human at one point, but they, at this moment, take a step forward and the leg smashes into the ground and becomes 5 or 6 tentacles that then pull them across. They hoist up this like broken element of what you can recognize now is a trash bag full of like refuse, and you can smell old food that is past its prime. As they drag it over to this sort of pit, you can hear them just say, "Praise be the Maw of Oras." And they hoist this in, and it splashes in and just burns up. Make a perception check, Echo, as you watch this process happen.
What language was that?
Common. Everybody understood it.
Oh, all didn't.
Oh.
What the fuck was that?
They appear to be feeding this maw.
Oh.
And
So
they
that was just
praise
its name?
this Maw of Oras, and
Oh.
they throw
Maw
this
is
stuff
a
in.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not that much of an idiot.
I don't know, man. I thought you didn't
It's
hear
hard to
it.
tell with me.
Question.
Yes.
So we are exploring the bridge, but I don't know how far this guy's neural network goes. Is it connected partially to the bridge? Is he going to feel any afterwaves?
Make a life
shocks?
sciences check.
We're also exploding the building too that we're currently in. 34.
34. It was the wrong direction for me.
43.
34. So with the 34, you look at this and you can see as this refuse goes in and just like there's an acid that just consumes it almost instantly. This creature grows ever so slightly. And similar to the Primanism, it seems to be feeding on organic matter. So there are similarities, certainly. This does not glow blue. This is darker. This is a little bit more like blackish green. And it doesn't have the same kind of psychic aura that the other thing had had. This seems to be a little bit simpler than that.
Shade get to make his life science check.
19.
Okay.
It was a 26.
With a 26, beyond being like something that you have seen, this is very close to the Primanism. This is something that feeds on organic matter and seems to have some tie to Gaia's mutagen. This is something that you would imagine is very corrosive in nature based on the sort of way in which it consumes this meal in front of it. And I would say you get the sense that things like acid probably would not work against it. And looking at it, you're not sure that it has a mind or way of thinking. It isn't communicating in the way that the Primatism did through that Yosoki puppet. There are like a few like hunks of flesh and things that look like they are human. And in fact, you see these biomancers walking around. They could be used as puppets, but they're not. And so it tells you it is a little bit different and perhaps immune to mind affecting effects. And you don't see any organs to this. You don't see any like systems that might be damaged. You get the sense with the 26 that it probably is immune to critical hits as well.
Oh dear.
Damn.
I will relay all of
broke
that
Spice.
in like a breakdown.
With your check, as you try to consider specifically, remind me again?
The impacts of the explosion. Will the impact hurt its like neural network if it goes out farther?
Almost certainly. So
Okay.
you can see like there are strings that connect from upstairs, not from the staircase proper, but through ductwork, through pipes, through vents, through elements of cracks in the actual ceiling itself. And these stringy tendrils seem to connect to elements in the floor and wall that all then trace back to the
Yeah.
screws.
Almost look more like, because I'm imagining it more spread out than this.
Not really, but
Or I
it
guess,
has
like-
almost like a slimy
I was
trail
gonna
that
say,
is spread out
Is it
around
kind of like almost like a slime mold in like the network that is formed?
With 26, you get a lot of elements of like what practically this might be, but not so much into the science aspect of what
I
that
mean,
could
just
be.
like in appearance,
Sure.
I guess.
Bubs is going to say. I'm sorry. Bubs is just going to really quickly say.
Hang on, Echo.
So with all that Shade has relayed about its structure and what it's immune to, can we just leave this thing where it is and just set off the explosions? Is that going to take care of it, like structurally? Because the explosives are like centered around here, right?
Well, we
Make a
have to,
physical science.
They're
check.
placed.
we haven't placed them yet.
Mubu has them.
Mubu has them.
Yeah, they're right here. If we just leave them.
Make a physical sciences check. Or I would say make an engineering check.
Can I assist as I'm kind of looking for locations of where to plant the explosives?
Sure. Make a. What is your modifier?
My
Engineering?
28.
Add 28 to that roll.
What? Wow.
To my engineering
I'm an
check?
envoy
Yeah.
and I don't have anything even close to that high.
What's 28 plus 28?
Well, because you're. So I want to
56.
be really clear about this. Again, you have about a minute 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So you're taking some time to do
56.
this.
56.
Okay. So with the 56, it takes you a little bit to kind of clear the patterns of these not quite patrols. I would say you get the sense as they walk around, there is maybe like they're doing tasks and things and they are moving in like a roughly regular pattern, but they're not watchful. They're not like keeping watch. This is not like a group of sentries necessarily. But as you spend about like 30 seconds analyzing this, looking for different points, you're recognizing that this is poured concrete. These are foundations and things, and you might be able to collapse the building in here. That would only further cause the sort of clog here to worsen. If you do want to clear this out, the explosive really needs to be in that shaft.
Yeah.
This shaft.
Correct.
Yeah,
You
'cause
need
it's-
the directionality of it to channel the force. Otherwise, you'll collapse the building in on itself. This way, you at least have a chance of... You do have a chance of keeping the building intact.
Basically, this is the clog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Echo.
Oh.
Yeah,
Echo
that was the concern.
telegraphs, Bluetooths to the group. Perhaps we need not fight these creatures at all. If we just bring the explosives to the shaft, the beast would probably let it fall in or absorb it. Either way, the explosives will
With the
explode.
will
so,
they be
Echo-
damaged by the corrosive qualities?
Bubbles.
Echo, I like that idea, but we only have a minute, and I don't know. Judging how far these tendrils go out, I feel like the explosion that Lindira has might set it off somehow. I don't know.
But if we explode it here as well, which we plan on doing, we take out the main body as well.
Well, we're gonna have to be quick.
That is the point. We don't want to be caught in the explosion here.
Echo, look at how corrosive those bodies are. I think it's just gonna eat the explosives before we can even explode it.
And to that point, you imagine just chucking some explosives in will almost certainly result in them breaking down. These need to be secured low enough so that it will not be, just spill over the top and just destroy the floor, but high enough that it isn't being consumed by the kind of constant
So
state
we're
of-
going to need to get past it one way or another.
Spice, do you still have your teleportation?
Nope, I used that last
She did use
battle.
it to get
It
us
is
up.
also likely that underneath the creature is also highly corrosive, given its influence.
I would not want to be underneath that body.
We need to move quickly. There is no other way past. We need
There's
to
no other way
eliminate
past, and she'll cock her needle rifle.
Okay.
Be cautious of the corrosive qualities.
Cautious.
Stay out of its range.
Yep. Heard.
It is immune to most physical damage.
Is it? It was
Not
acid.
critical hits. Yeah, and
Oh.
acid.
What's our escape plan? Are we just gonna go back the way we came?
Run
No,
like
we go
hell.
up the chute. Right?
It's down, but we will need to
Oh,
plant
good.
the explosives after we've cleared the area.
If anyone needs a lift, I'm sure I could carry.
I'm the only one here who can't fly, so.
Looking around in that check here, right?
Yeah.
Is this a wall? Do we see these explosives, and are they the standard
They're not
explosive?
standard explosives.
Okay.
These are just kind of big bins. And I
Okay.
would say, with Echo's previous perception check and anybody who has a passive above 20, you can see that there are some of these that are open, and they are full of this ooze.
Okay.
These are like little storage containers. You're not sure if maybe there are differences to them or what their purpose is, but not explosives.
Are they transporting it?
Echo.
Bubs is gonna pull out some of his ion tape.
Okay.
And he's going to rip off some rolls and hand it to everyone.
Okay.
Guys, we can probably use this to secure the explosives.
Not a bad idea. Echo takes a roll and then also has a sticky bomb in their hand,
Okay.
and they're just going to go forward.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Make
So
a stealth check.
everyone has at
Okay.
least some
Are we
ion
stealthing
tape.
now?
It seems
Well,
like it.
Echo has a grenade and plans to stealth forward alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
if you come with,
Stealth-
you come with.
No, I'm stealthing so that when the bomb goes off.
So everybody make a stealth check. 3 people are stealthy and still. 1 person is stealthy and not. Maybe. We'll see what the rolls tell us here.
Nice.
It's not that.
Interesting.
15.
26.
Light.
26.
Plus 10, 25.
Jeez, gotta put on my calculator. Okay.
The team of
plus
calculator plus.
I don't know. 12,
17 plus 12 is
20.
29.
29.
There we go. 29.
Public math when it's not for you!
Yeah. With a 29 and a 26, relatively good rolls all around. You all bend into the darkness. Mubu kind of mirrors your images and goes across the stairwell, lurking into the shadows as well. And Echo, you dart forward. And you are very quiet. But can you make a fortitude saving throw, please?
Damn.
Because as you do get within just 30 feet of this big creature in the center, what was that check?
23.
With a 23, ooh, that's close. Give me 1 second here. With a 23, that is a success.
I rolled really well. I cannot roll much higher than that.
As you get close, you can feel the familiar sensation of radiation
Oh.
as it pulses out of this creature. It
So
has an
technically,
aura.
I get a 25.
There you go. And you would imagine that if you rolled a little bit lower than that, you would have likely been beyond just taking the sort of damage that would happen. You might be getting a little bit nauseous. You might ultimately end up becoming a little bit irradiated.
Interesting.
And so this will need to be quite quick.
Bing. Echo pings the whole, radiation thing to
The
them.
explosions that Mubu has on
Yeah.
his person, Bub is going to offer to grab them from him.
Okay, yeah, sure. No problem. Very quietly, the 4 arms of the Skittermander go and grab elements of these explosives and pass them over to you.
How many do I have on my person at this moment?
You gave them 3, so they have 3 explosives.
Okay. Bubs is going to divide.
That's where you're trying to get to?
Conquer, and he is going to give 1 to himself, 1 to Spice, and 1 to Shade.
Okay, so as Echo sneaks up to this pit, and Echo, you make it over there, you see one of these individuals kind of rooting around through scrap elements of iron. You walk straight past them, and you climb stealthily up onto this iron ring, the lip to the shaft. You can see the fan, and you can hear underneath these gallons of liquid this as it is like grinding against this plug.
It's plug?
Plug.
Oh, don't get me all excited.
You now are like hidden behind this barrier, kneeling down just on the other side of the shaft. What are you doing? And make another fortitude saving throw, please.
Well, that's going to do something. 13.
13. With a 13, as you kneel against this, you put your hand up against the metal, and the paint that is still just barely clinging on slides right away and almost fuses with the surface of your fingers. The elements of your skin, synthetic though they are, begin to kind of peel away. The radiation is intense here. Echo, you do take 8 points of acid damage.
Ew.
Plus,
Ew.
can you roll a d4 for me?
Ew.
You want to spread an
No.
extra hand?
1?
1 extra.
You are
hand.
nauseated.
Nauseated.
You are nauseated for 2 rounds.
Oh.
All of a sudden,
D4 plus 1.
you can feel your mechanical elements begin to be infiltrated by the biological. As you begin to melt ever so slightly from this radiation, you begin to almost fuse at a molecular level. You bend down, however, just inches away from where you need to be. Is anybody else doing anything to help?
I am going to move closer. Everyone else has the explosions already.
Okay, so where are you moving?
Do I from the expedition into this radium spike? We have that spray on us, correct? That can spray that is anti-radiation.
No, you guys ran out of
Use
that.
that. Okay. How long would it take for me to? It would probably take a while for me to don the suit.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for that.
We can't use those explosives just as...
Those aren't just casual bombs. Those are the missile warheads.
Yeah.
We have to put them under this to use them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
You gotta put more than one. Bubbles
Yeah.
gonna be one.
Well, I only have 1 Shade and Spice of everyone. I just gave everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Bubs is going.
Echo just has a grenade to start the fight. I don't have a barrel.
Yeah, that's okay. Everybody else has the barrels.
Yeah, everyone else has a barrel.
Okay, I just want to make sure Dan
Yeah.
understands
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You're the
Okay.
you're the lure. Everybody else is the actual bomb. Yeah.
Great. 2D.
So where are you going?
I'm just going to try to just locate an area that I could possibly just get ready to position myself to. Once Echo kind of gets ready to like put their bomb in,
Sure.
I can go up and hopefully try to identify.
So without making another check, you could get up to the brown crate right in front of you.
Okay.
If you do want to make another check, you could get as far up as one of those barriers right around the shaft.
I don't want to go up to the shaft, but I will go up to the brown crate.
Okay, no problem. So you put yourself right behind the brown crate. Anybody else things that they want to do before we begin Echo's grenade adventure?
Spice is going to root around her pockets, look at all the airy stuff that she has, see a bunch of grenades, pick out one of the frag grenades and just go
Oh.
Okay.
preparing to throw it.
You being and throw. It's not being prepared.
Whatever.
No,
you know, in
so
the like
you do want to
second.
cook it for a second.
Yeah.
So you ding, and in that moment, how about everybody roll for initiative?
Good
Because
God.
Echo, with the Echo locators kind of active to keep track of the movements of these people, you hear the tink, and you know immediately what that is.
I know exactly who has done this and what has happened.
As if we weren't gonna go into combat.
I was
I'm right
gonna,
here!
if possible, try to see if there was any exocortexable things.
All right, we'll
but,
see what you roll for
I
initiative.
guess, yeah.
And for what it's worth, it is 2:59. Right as we begin initiative, there is a minute until these explosives begin. So you have a minute to plant these explosives and to get out, for what it's worth.
Right.
Okay.
We always have the option to wait on these ones because we're the ones detonating them, right?
Yeah,
They're
but
not
the
set
thing
to
is,
go
the
off.
other explosions are
It's
going
just
to...
a matter of whether or not
Yeah.
you want them to happen all at once.
Right.
The question
we
is,
do,
we don't
but-
understand that if the tendrils from this maw are going to be affected from the explosions further up. That's what we're
But isn't
wondering.
that good?
Right.
It could be bad, too,
Why?
because it might make it angry.
Well,
It's gonna be angry
yeah,
in like
yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
now
oh,
it's
this
not
grenade, I fucking love
yeah, now
grenades,
it's, that was,
guy.
Oh, you guys
these were
brought me a
thoughts
grenade?
before we did the grenade.
I see. Pre-grenade thoughts.
Anybody natural 20? 30 to 25.
25.
25 for Shade,
23.
24.
24 for Echo, 23 for Bubbles. All right. And then 20 to 15?
15 for Spice.
15. What is your
Okay.
dex modifier?
Yeah.
+1.
All right. 15 for Spice. And
Oh, sorry, 16. 16.
that matters. All right. So the way that this works out, Shade is going to be starting us off, followed by Echo, then Bubbles, then Spice, and then the priests. And then at the very end of this, the Maw of Oras will go.
Guys, we did it good.
You did a good
Yeah.
Shade. In this moment, you see both Echo and Bubbles just sneak into this room. You are doing perfectly. This is the infiltration that your team is trained for. And then you hear ting. And from the other side, you hear uh-oh as Mubu sees Spice pull the pin on the grenade.
Oh, when's Mubu going?
Oh, thank you for I gotta remember that.
Natural 20.
I'm
Mubu
not gonna
runs
get-
ahead.
To make this easier for myself, Mubu rolled a 10. I'm putting him at initiative order 10.
Nice.
Okay. So, Shade.
All right. So seeing all of this happening, I know that it's got to be roughly 30 feet
I'll place
away,
myself at the crate. I said
based on what Echo has relayed. So 6. So I can get pretty much like right up along the edge here, and I'm gonna boop boop. 6. These are not explosives, as far as I can tell.
Correct.
Right? I am going to land up on these explosives here.
As you stand on that pile of explosives. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it is not explosives. As you stand on this, you can see you are on a mountain of these buckets or crates. There is Gaia's mutagen, or this toxic sludge variant of it that just sloshes as you do.
And from here, I'm going to attempt to. Well, visually, do I see any computer-looking things like? I don't know. It doesn't look like it necessarily.
Visually, no.
Okay. I'm going to, I guess, ready my attack for Echo's signal. Have they still not noticed us?
As far as you can, I would say if you sneak around there and you climb up on top of like a mountain of crates in front of that guy, that guy is probably like looking up at you and beginning to notice you. But aside from that, there's no shouts or shots. It's been a successful infiltration so far.
All right, then I guess I'm gonna just jump down and kill this guy.
There you go.
Attack, and I guess there's not really much sense in delaying it, so I'm gonna distracting hack and attack that guy.
Okay, what are you distracting hacking with now?
My
computers?
eye face.
There you go. With your eye face. You distracting hack your own eye face. your eye, you pull the eye patch up and it just goes wacky in the socket. No problem.
And that's well.
That's how I imagine Shane's distracting hack from now on. It's googly eye.
Yeah, I put a sticker on the eye patch that's a googly eye. And oh,
Fantastic.
that's like a 40 something.
Above a 40 will be a success.
Yeah, 43 for what it's worth.
So they
and
are
then,
flat-footed.
yeah, then I'm gonna make my attack. That's correct. Natural 20.
Very
Da,
nice.
da, 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 da.
So that guy is gonna be staggered and bleeding.
Nice.
For how much?
Staggered for 1 round, and I'm rolling the damage right
Bleed.
He can't take bleed, right?
The regular
not
ass
that one.
random dude. Hopefully
Oh.
can.
So we need at
Um,
least your explosion and partially
So that's-
of the 3
ooh.
in the shaft.
So 34 plus.
I thought it was the acid.
So 53 slashing damage and 6. Very nice. 11.
Okay, then we can drop it.
22 bleed.
Very nice. They are looking kind of hurt. As you rush around the corner, you climb this element of sludge and almost just leap off of that. The blade extends from the hidden compartment on your arm and just scythes into their arm. The arm is almost taken off at this part, but you see instantly from this gaping wound, this little baby arm begin to emerge as the Biomancer begins to evolve right in front of your very eyes. But that is a deep wound. Anything else, Shade?
They are staggered for the next turn.
They're staggered. They're bleeding. They are flat-footed. They're having a bad time.
They're no longer
No
flat.
longer flat-footed. This is next attack, right? All right, that brings us to Echo. Bubbles, you are on deck.
Yep.
I guess I basically just drop it.
So you're just dropping the grenade right in there?
Reaction drop.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of grenade is this?
It's a Frag Mark 1.
Okay. I will say you don't need to make an attack roll. It is still an action to do. For this,
Oh, it's an action
for a grenade.
to drop?
Oh, to drop, right. Yeah, you already prepared it. No, that's a swift action. Or I would say it's a free action just to drop
Sweet, because I can only take move actions right
So
now.
when you drop that grenade, that is a reflex saving throw?
Okay.
Not for you, for this
Oh.
person, correct? I know there's a few that have fort.
It just says explode 1d6.
Yeah, frag grenades, I don't...
All right, roll 1d6 for damage.
I think it's when you throw it, you roll to determine where it lands.
Yeah, but if you drop it where the space is, then it just wherever
then
you
it
drop
just
it.
hits
Six.
the adjacent. Like the thing
You drop this grenade, and you can see as it explodes, you expect there to be a sound, but at the last second, this ooze around it, and you can hear almost muted. And it does not seem to pass the threshold of damage needed to cause this creature any harm.
Love that.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm going to use my only thing that I can do move action. Move away.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back the way I came. Hello, Bubbles.
And you don't provoke attacks of opportunity, correct?
No, that's only when I trick attack somebody.
Very
so I
nice.
do.
So as you rush away, you begin almost 10 feet away from this creature, but these pseudopod-like tendrils extend long.
Hate
They
that.
chase after you, and they are going to make a pseudopod attack against you. That is a low roll.
But
27 against your KAC. You are able to skirt just out of the way as this pseudopod straight past you and slams into one of the walls and penetrates like a needle into this concrete.
and Echo pukes.
There you go. And where are you ending?
Echo is right next to Bubs.
Fantastic.
We
You
have
do
stomachs.
not
I
need
guess
to continue
yours
to
is
take
just
this check.
yellow,
It is. That's
mostly.
That
yellow.
brings us to Bubbles.
Echo, what happened?
I wouldn't get too close to it. It's toxic.
Okay, we're gonna have to remove more of it.
It's just
exactly
two halves of a yellow nutrient cube.
Bubs is gonna relay to the team. Guys, we're gonna have to remove more of it to get the explosives in. And Bubs sees this guy in front of us, correct?
Yeah.
There it is.
You could see, like, right now they're turning to look as, like, Shade begins to
Yeah.
attack somebody back in the room.
I'm trying to think. If I go here, would I have cover from the ooze? Would see me, or at least have cover? Partial.
You would have cover.
Okay. I am going to do a spring attack.
Okay.
Move up 1, 2. Actually, I can just do 2, and then I can hit him from there.
Yeah, you can.
1, 2. I will attack.
Make your attack roll. You take this hammer, you rock it forward away from Echo, who says, I wouldn't go any closer, and you, fuck that. You get close.
Ooh, that's good.
I got squeaky clean
14 plus. Crap! I didn't get my combat up.
He doesn't have his whiteboard up.
It's like a 34, I bet.
It's gonna be something ridiculous. Something high.
1 second.
Didn't get hit by, or an ally didn't get hit by him yet.
20. So 14 plus 21 is.
Yeah, 35. That's a hit.
Okay, and then the damage is.
Yeah. Look at that. It's almost like you've been looking over at that character sheet for 3 years, watching it slowly grow.
Little baby bumps.
10, 12, 12 plus 6 is 18, and then I have to roll again because I'm missing one.
Damn, somebody must have taken dice out of your
18.
tray.
Ooh, nice.
Plus 9 is 27. Plus, I missed Echo. No, yeah, so just 27, flat 27.
Are you hitting this or this guy?
Plus, my
The guy in the red
base
jacket.
mod is 21, so 21 plus 27 is
48 points of
48,
damage.
yes.
Very nice. So you slam into them with this magma hammer. This time, as you do, they are caught off guard. You can see they almost have to step back. That's a good amount of damage. That does put you very close to this creature. In fact,
I have a spring attack, so it lets me move without making an attack of opportunity against me.
yeah.
Nice.
And I am going to move back into cover.
Oh, phenomenal. So you dart out, you slam into this person, and even as you feel this radiation begin to ooze over you, you just roll back out of the way and into cover of this crate, right next to Echo as they vomit up another half a nutrient
I
cube.
feel like this cover is just as bad as this cover, so I'm gonna...
Neither is super cover
Yeah,
from radiation. Yeah. That is your turn, Bubbles. That brings us to Spice. Spice, you are holding a cooked grenade in your hand.
Yes.
Cast it into
And
the fire.
she runs up to the edge.
Okay.
Please move me, man. And then she does the like Pokeball flourish that they all do, and she goes, "By the eye of Imido!" And she throws her flash grenade because it has a bunch of eyes. Level 4. Into the pit of eyes.
Okay. So the flash grenade.
Yes, flash grenade, not frag grenade.
All right. So with this flash grenade, as you drop it in, there is a burst of brilliance. I believe because of the way that this works, and because you're just dropping it in at point blank range, I believe you're also making the
Oh.
save against this.
No, I'm still gonna throw it.
Okay.
I want to throw it like into the.
Yeah, make an
eye
attack
pit.
roll then. Absolutely.
Okay. This I can do because I have proficiency. with
Say.
grenades.
Does that mean it's a natural 20 if it ends that person?
I would like to think so. Let's see. It's going to be so we're flash grenade. 23.
With a 23, can you roll a d8? You almost hit it perfectly where you want. It's just a little off.
Nice.
This is a difficult throw in these irradiated, darkened conditions.
It's
but
also
you can certainly do
20 feet. The radius is
Yep.
20 feet. Okay. 2.
With a 2, as you try to loft this into this chamber, you are still able, you put it on the far side, giving it a nice arc over this creature, and it just plops straight into the space right on the other side of that crate. You kind of hear this as it just drops in.
Okay.
And because you had taken the pin out and held it and then threw it, before it is able to drop into this corrosive acid that would almost certainly just swallow it straight up, there is a big pop. And you can see on the ceiling this
Blinding
bright
light.
But because it drops down, it does not blind everybody else. It just kind of goes up against the bottom of this creature. That is a...
How many eyes does this creature have?
Yeah.
The eyes of Ibido.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Okay.
It's blinded.
Roll 1d4.
Okay, D4. You got it.
For every look of sense.
Ah, 1.
This is a
With a 1,
creepy-ass cool
you would
name.
imagine this creature is blinded for 1 round.
Damn it!
This
Hey,
shine
that's
just
good.
exploding
Good
up
stuff.
underneath
Only
it.
1 out of
But
4.
it actually got blinded.
It did actually get blinded. For what it's worth, as it does get blinded now, to answer your question, Bubbles, all around this floor, you can see the little bits of slime or filaments begin to lift and move as if they are reaching and grasping and feeling for things. But this creature certainly blinded. Anything else? Spice?
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, she goes, knock, knock, who's there? Who are you? That's what she's asking this thing, if it can speak.
Fantastic. I would say for free, you do get the sense that it is not going to answer you.
Okay.
It doesn't have mouths
Not
like they
cool,
are.
you just blinded me.
It's more of a limerick monster.
It's much more of a like ooze like creature. But that brings us to the Biomancers.
I thought since it had like a human leg stick out, I was like, maybe there's a functioning brain in there,
Being a
but
human recently.
Gotta be in contact with them no matter what. They will hobble up to this.
Oh, I didn't
Biomancer.
even notice that guy. Fuck.
yeah. I need to be within range.
So,
Spice is actually here.
can
Do
you make a
want me
fortitude
to-
saving throw? It's
Yes.
the end of your turn.
Do you want me to move this guy that you had placed here?
No, because they're really going for Bubbles and Echo.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20 on the fort save.
Very nice. You stand in this radiation.
Radiation
And
doesn't
Spice,
matter to me.
for Echo, this almost ripped their flesh off. But you go into tanning booths on the regular. This is just a Friday night. You stand there, and if
my
anything,
sunglasses.
this feels a little weak. You have no problem with this radiation, and you withstand it. This creature rounds it right as you step forward. They step back, and so you miss this Biomancer. They never see you. They stand over here and now see Bubbles as they tuck into the corner. They see Echo and Bubbles. You can see they stretch one arm out and then the other arm out, and there is a light that appears in each of their hands.
Ooh.
And then they
good.
open their mouth, and a third appears in their mouth. And they reach forwards, and all 3 of these beams fire lasers that join into a central prism and then explode in a massive beam towards the 2 of you.
I hate that for
sounds
us.
Not
That's
cool.
not good.
That sounds
It's
like
very
a
pretty though.
Pretty.
So,
It's a pretty way to die, yes.
Yeah.
can I have from each of you a reflex saving throw?
Oh, I like those.
We still have our radiation gear.
Decent at those. Actually, those are my worst.
Not the like.
Not
we
the
have the
full
badge.
suit.
It
Oh,
just gives us
I'm
a
sorry.
plus.
This is a ranged weapon attack.
Oh,
We love this.
damn. I rolled a 29.
Oh, so
Can I-
not the reflex?
It's not a
that?
reflex
Oh,
saving
good, because I
throw.
rolled like shit.
That's good.
Good. I rolled a 3.
There was
I
a high
didn't
chance I
roll
could not take
the
damage.
best that I could possibly roll.
The best you could?
I didn't.
Oh.
This is only going to be against Bubbles, a 30 against your EAC.
Oh, I have a 31.
There
Nice.
you go. This hits you, and this would like evaporate metal, but it hits right at an angle where it glances
Spice made me
off,
go to the
and the
tanning salon.
crate in front of you is almost just destroyed. There is a beam that gets shot straight through it and out the other side. On the inside, there is molten metal that begins to drip down. This was just full of these like iron shavings, but you are okay.
But this
For
will-
you, Echo,
Uh-huh.
that is going to be a 37.
Damn it!
Oh.
37 hits.
Yeah.
All right.
It's 2 above what you
You
needed.
can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, Echo, sometimes you'll get what you need.
Bubs is gonna duck down
Fancy armor, bitch!
and look like, oh my god, Echo, do you see that? And then just see Echo just get smacked.
So you see Echo get
See
hit
what?
first with Echo,
Uh-huh.
18,
Uh-oh.
24,
Uh-oh.
26 points of acid damage
Hate
plus
that. Nope.
6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus 20 points of electric damage
Oh,
plus
electric.
11,
This has to
13,
recharge, right? This isn't like an every
14.
turn kind of thing.
18, 24 points of fire damage.
Sir.
As this
Oh, because it's
hits
tri.
you, this is 3
was
different
7.
beams. This is a
damage.
tripartite beam,
Yeah.
and you recognize a 6th level spell as it slams into you. At the same time, you see this creature that threw this at you, having not been hit by more than just Bubbles, was looking like hurt already, but it's like the vitality leaves them. And at the same moment, this creature in the middle gets a little bit bigger. The one that is engaged with you, Shade,
that's
is not
right.
really going to strike you with
like
a
that.
beam,
He's
because that
not
would be
gonna do
silly.
anything because he's staggered.
He is staggered. He can
Did-
still hit you, though.
Did I notice him get bigger when I attacked him with my hammer, or only when he did that?
I would say you didn't notice anything.
Okay.
Just kind of, with a spring attack especially,
Okay.
in and out.
Okay.
Not really noticing a lot.
Okay, but I noticed a stab.
Echo
Okay.
telegraphs that if I can telegraph
Oh,
this.
he's also taking 22 bleed at the start.
Also true, yes. So takes 22 points of bleed at the start of his turn.
Can I telegraph when it's not my turn?
Yeah.
Echo telegraphs that the ooze is sucking health from its underlings, and we should take them out.
Okay, you telegraph this using the
But
quick
sounding like Echo.
baseball-like motions.
7 more, excuse you.
So they take this bleed damage. They are going to Shade. Grab on with their left arm to their right wrist, and they are going to grunt and tug and rip their arm out of their socket.
Don't want
And they're going to strike you with that. And as they do, it grows a little bit longer and almost seems to work as a living staff.
that.
Ew.
Shade, that is only going to be a 35 to hit.
Brown crate. How did you
Fucking
not
yeah.
They strike you, and Shade, you only take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and you imagine that could have been quite worse. As they hit you, the bits of blood and muscle and tendon begin to writhe, and as it strikes, they begin to crawl around into the crevices of your armor, but you pull away. You are not bound. They bleed even more and are looking pretty rough, but they are still up. And then that final individual, you can see,
This one?
yeah, they stand and just spread their arms wide as if they're about to hug this ooze, and you can see bits of their life begin to drain into this pit, and this ooze grows a little bit
I
larger.
don't like that.
That is all of the Biomancer's turns. That brings us to the Maw itself. So,
Mubu.
Mubu is at initiative 10.
Oh, damn.
First, this creature is going to move its full movement.
Wait, it's moving out of the hole? I thought it was gonna stay in the hole.
No, if
You
it's moving out of a
thought
hole, it's
wrong.
good for us. This is good.
Oh, its
It
full
is moved,
movement
its full movement.
is
Oh.
what, 10
This is
5
good,
feet?
though.
Yeah, but
This is good.
It begins to crawl out, and as it does, it crawls over the metal
everyone
barrier.
has one though.
The metal barrier bends and
give you one,
breaks. It crawls across, and you can feel the radiation begin to kind of ooze over you. And then you can see the front of this thing explodes into pseudopods. It is going to take an attack against Spice, against Bubbles, who will benefit from full cover,
Nice.
and against Shade.
Wow, all the way over there.
All
And
the
this
way
guy?
over there,
'Cause
No,
he's kinda in front of me?
These are melee attacks.
Oh shit.
Melee
Wow,
attacks.
that is a range and a half.
It is a reach and a half. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
He's got
So. He's
Mechanical
got mechanical reach, but he's got real mechanical
Does
reach.
that mean that he's within our range too?
Do you have a reach of?
No,
30?
no.
So they strike out all these tendrils at once. The first against you,
I guess if I
Spice.
use my gun.
That's not great. That is a 28 to hit.
No! Ha ha!
You were
She-
able to withstand this. Taking the radiation in seems to be strengthening Spice, if anything.
Yes!
They're unable to hit you.
Look at how 10 I am!
The second tendril is going to hit you, Bubbles, and that is almost certainly going to miss.
Oh, good.
That is a 32, but with full cover, that is going to be a miss.
Nice.
And then the final one, the tendril stretching almost to its limit to hit Shade. That is a 36 to hit.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
You say that, but we're at the point now where it's not necessarily, because like Starfinder numbers get a little wild.
me.
They do get.
My armor is still.
I need to get you some more
I've got the armor that I'm gonna live in until the end of
Yeah.
the campaign, basically.
So you do get a little bit lucky,
That's what I've got.
as that is only 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
No way.
Plus 33 points of acid damage.
Not so bad. It's not 70.
And then that is all of the
good.
strikes that this creature can do. Spice, you are able to just withstand this strike. Bubbles, the elements of this cover keep you safe.
It was
Should you do
blinded.
take hit.
Does that affect it?
So these writhing elements on the
Those were not
floor,
affected
you
by
imagine it has blind sense. It is
Okay.
blinded.
But yeah.
Yeah,
what
it is
a
able to
waste of
as long.
grenade.
No,
It's
so if you're
good.
flying,
good information.
it
Yeah.
it can't see you.
Well, now it can, because its turn happened.
That's true. So this does bring us to Mubu Kitarexis.
Go, Mubu!
They are going to, as a swift action, draw with their third arm this little gun that you saw before, and they fire it. And you can see they are shooting at that highest point up there. There is a clean ding sound that is just clean like a silver note in a dark night, and they just fly across on this grappling hook. Could you place them on the other side?
Okay, Punisher.
And then they are going to hold their action because they, and you can see they don't have the grenades as you guys have taken all these big warheads, but they do have their own like grenades, and they're like beginning to pull these out. They see you dropping grenades down here, and they're going to hold their action to try to create some explosive elements as well. That is Mubu's turn. That brings us to the top of the round and to Shade. Shade, where you are at the moment, you can see that this creature has reach on you, but you also see Mubu fly across the space. What are you doing?
This guy's still staggered, so I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So I can go boop to here.
And that would be difficult terrain if you're not flying before you get there.
Yeah, I'm just jumping over to here. I'm here. And then
You need more putty for your characters.
yeah, it's fine. And then I'm going to, from here, make a ranged weapon attack
Okay.
with, I'm going to pull out one of the only rifles that I still have. I think the only rifle that I still have. The Frostbite Class 0 rifle that I got from Kinkashi.
And so this looks, when you pull this out for all the rest of the world, this looks like a sawed-off shotgun. This looks like an old, like, stagecoachman's shotgun that is from the Old West. You know that this functions as a cryo weapon, but this would fool almost anybody.
Yeah, it looks like a Garand, is what the note I have is.
Like a what?
A gerund.
A gerund.
Gif, who cares?
I thought it was Garand, and gerund is the
Gerund is
the
grammar.
yeah, grammatical term.
I thought it was, maybe. I always read it as gerund, as the rifle.
That is a. I haven't used this gun in a while.
Do you have a question?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
28 to hit.
28 to hit. 28 is an absolute hit. So go ahead and roll damage. What was your question?
My question is, does Spice's success breed success work on the minions?
Oh, yeah.
You, as far as you can tell, perhaps, but Shabe is the one that said.
No.
Oh,
She
for
is
real?
the one who had mentioned that this creature seems immune. It was this ooze-like lack of like vital systems.
Okay.
You've seen these guys walking around on arms and legs. They have systems.
Okay.
Sorry, that was only 16 cold damage
So to the larger ooze?
to this big man's. Yeah.
Okay, so to the mouth itself. You fire out at the god mouth with this cold weapon. And as you do, it does the full amount that you would expect. How much was it?
16 cold.
16 does the full amount that you would expect.
Cool. And then I'm going to. I guess I'll just exocortex to combat track.
Okay.
I'm gonna combat. Well, I guess I'll combat track this guy and him until this guy's presumably gonna get
Absolutely. You use the different elements of the exocortex to begin to hack the different people in this room, to track them, rather. That is your turn, Shade.
Yep.
All right, that brings us to Echo.
B. I have a move action.
Okay.
With my move action,
Mm-hmm.
can I rush forward?
Yes.
And as I rush forward, run into the barrel
Yes.
that Bubs has with him.
Run into?
Yes. Arms wide open.
Arms wide open.
No. I mean,
So,
you can.
I have a thing where I can change out my weapons as part of my movement.
Yeah, I would say you could use that feature for this.
For this?
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
It's technically a weapon.
It is a weapon, yeah.
It is a weapon.
It's just
Are
a.
you gonna ready an action to do this, or are you just gonna do this?
No, I'm
Mass
just
destruction.
taking it from you.
Okay,
Thank you. Echo goes.
that's good.
And as a move action, he's just going to go here. Actually, we're going to go a little bit around here. Because I have the movement to do so. Drop.
It still needs to go.
Drop as I continue forward. And I think I can end up
Just drop?
just drop. I can't do anything else because that's not acid bullet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
It is still.
Goddamn, well, I'm just going to take it with me and keep going.
Okay, you just keep going.
Could we,
I think I
with
can
the
get
ion
there.
tape, can we put it not far down into the acid?
Yeah,
On the.
absolutely. That would be the correct thing to do.
But
You
I
would
don't
need
have. I can't.
No, you
do
have
that.
ion tape. I gave it to you.
I can't do that with my move
Echo
off.
action economy. That's the thing.
I think we just need to focus on destroying this thing so that we can.
I just don't know if we have the time. That's the thing.
We have.
We've got 5 more rounds.
Right there.
That's how I'm doing it.
We have more than that.
Nine.
You have 48 seconds.
Yeah, we have 8 rounds.
Oh, 8.
Yeah, this is our 9th round out of. This is our 2nd round out of 10.
Oh,
And we have to escape
10 rounds.
too, so we kind of do only have 5.
Yeah, 5 is a good way of looking at it, I
Yeah.
think. So, Echo, you run in a massive ring, really taking in the space.
Just want to make sure I know where everything is. You know.
Absolutely, and you do get a good layout of this room. You can see
Good.
places where there are certainly opportunities to lay these bombs. Anything else, Echo?
Nope. That's all.
Alrighty.
Literally all I can do.
There you go. You run like the wind. That brings us to Bubbles.
Can Bubs do what Echo just did and take one of the bombs off of Spice?
Do you have that feature?
Oh no, I don't. Okay.
What are you gonna?
I can drop my weapon, have it automatically fall into my holster.
Yeah.
Could I then do, as a free action, drop weapon, holster, and then grab?
No, but
Okay.
yeah.
Then
Maybe punch.
yeah, I'm just gonna attack this guy.
I would say if you wanted to like swift action grab that out of Spice's hand. Spice is a willing creature.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
It's Spice the willing creature?
Unless Spice decides not to release this weapon to you.
Fine.
There's just a moment where like you're like, oh shit.
Echo's
But then
eyes meet with Spice, and she's like, "Please,
I had a cool thing I was gonna do, but fine.
there's always more."
you grab onto this warhead and you begin to move. Where are you going, Bubbles?
So mine is taken away.
I'm
Shade will
going
have one.
5,
Okay.
10, 15. First out, I'm gonna get 5 feet into the air,
Okay.
flying, because that's how Bubs almost always moves.
Yep.
And he's gonna go 5, 10, 15.
Wait, I thought you have to go. You have to. Are you gonna reach across 5 feet to me? How are you gonna get it from me?
I can go.
5, 10, 15?
Yeah, sorry. 5, grab it from you.
You may want to keep going around that direction then
Yeah,
to
okay.
get closer.
5, 10, 15.
Then shove it right down his throat. Pick him up and throw him down the shaft. I like the way you think.
Yeah, I'll end my turn
Keep
here.
it safe
Okay.
with the
You
flash.
hold on to the
barrier.
warhead, you rush around the corner, and then you have to almost Scooby-Doo screech to a halt because this individual
Yeah,
still
makes
just
sense.
like firing or warming down this laser. That is your turn, Bubbles?
Yeah.
All right. You have a warhead. That brings us to Spice.
Spice!
And that way at least I have cover from this attack.
Holds out her left hand, Bubble goes by, grabs it, she does a full spin, goes in, she goes batter up, swings her arm around, and like picks her knees up like a pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's
As
going
pitchers are
to,
wont to do.
as she spun around, she picked out her frag grenade 5 and launches it.
Excellent. Make an attack roll. And this is the one that you probably don't want to mess with.
Yeah, this is
It's
my
okay.
highest
Only
powered
Mubu
one.
is behind the thing, and Mubu has.
It's only 20 feet, right? So he won't even
He's
get a hit.
little.
Depends on how well you throw.
Scatter moves in
That's
8
true.
directions.
We'll see. Wish me luck.
Luck.
Dun 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 dun.
Well, I think this is a good strategy.
Right?
I do have a reroll. It's not.
Because Spice is getting its attention to go
I
here.
might take it.
What you
Okay,
doing?
well, I also.
I'd use the reroll.
Okay, we're using the gay
you gonna
reroll.
go-
Happy
There you go.
pride.
What? Are you gonna go there in place?
Dun 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 dun. Worse.
That die is loaded. That was what it was sitting
This
on.
doesn't
I don't
work,
believe it.
probably.
That's
Wow, you guys
fucking
suck. What a
dumb.
waste of a
Probably
roll.
not
Okay,
effects.
good
I'm
luck.
telling
Okay,
you,
14 to hit.
With a 14, can you roll a d8, please?
Yeah.
Is
I
it gonna
throw
hit
it in
me?
my own mouth.
It's gonna hit me.
6.
It's gonna hit me.
Can you roll a d6, please?
Yep.
It's gonna hit me.
It's gonna hit me.
I don't
gonna
care
hit
what
all
it
of
is
us.
because I hate. Never mind. 1.
1.
That hits.
Overall, it could have been a lot worse. As you throw this grenade, you see, almost adjusting to you throwing these again and again and again, one of the tendrils slaps out and tries to just fire the grenade away. Echo, sure enough,
Yeah.
pops it right back in your direction,
Hate that.
but only by 5 feet. And so it just hits right at this creature's feet. What is a blast radius?
20 feet.
Oh.
So it's like right here.
Yeah.
So it's still gonna get me.
Pretty
It's
close.
gonna
was-
get
that was some good
Spice.
news,
It
bad
might
news,
get
good
everywhere.
Where's,
really was.
where's the big thing?
It was over there, right?
Yeah.
You. All right.
I
Oh, look at that.
But I got
I'll hit Spice
Right.
too.
skis on it.
And maybe me.
Say,
Hey,
say
but
a little bit
it was a noble sacrifice.
I think it was a really good idea. That was just an
And my
unfortunate
first roll probably might have hit.
I don't hate this idea because I do want its attention to come more
And,
towards Spice.
and for what it's worth, it's also hitting it. So can I have Spice, Echo, and this creature make a reflex save? I will make the save.
I'm actually kind of glad I went with that.
Natural 19. Therefore, everybody's success breeds success now.
Wait, that's
Nah.
only for attack roll.
I believe
It's
so.
skill. It's like everything.
Is it really?
Within 60 feet.
Where are you gonna place?
What I need
I
to.
don't know.
Oh
I
no,
feel like
you're
there's
right.
more to
It is
focus
attack
on.
roll.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
26.
Attack.
Place it.
So 26, that is a success. For you, that is a success. For this creature, it was a 24, which I believe is a success as well. That is still half damage, though.
Not to
so
me.
not to Echo. Go ahead and roll half damage, or roll damage, and then half of that for you and this creature.
So it's 10d6 damage for a total of 29, because half of them are 2s, literally.
Hey,
Damn.
you know what? Every little bit counts, and that is the most damage this creature has taken so far.
Hate that for us.
We all take it though. We all take 15,
A
right?
good chunk of you do, yeah. Not Echo. Echo takes none. Echo is very fast. He's able to dodge out of the way.
I take 15.
Anything else, Spice?
Punch myself in the face.
With the grenade.
So Cinema Q, I say, you're up, baby. Cinema Q, bum 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 bum. Pull has their little front little pocket opens, their little light opens, and she's going to shoot with her laser perihelion.
Make your attack roll. This has been surprisingly effective.
I know.
really has.
See, I've gotten like 20 natural 20s on this. Oh, natural 2. Well,
we gotta stop talking while we roll, peeps.
yeah,
It
so that would be
opens
a 9
and
to hit.
fires, and it just goes off into the distance. You see Mubu like ducks a little bit, not even truly in their direction, but no problem. That is your turn, Spice.
Yep.
All right, that brings us
Oh
to...
wait, move action, move backwards 30 feet. 'cause
I was
don't
going
wanna
to
be
say,
in that radius.
That was going to be an unfortunate
Boop,
time
boop.
for you there, but
Which
you
way?
move out of the way. The radiation does not affect you.
She
Yeah,
said
to the
back.
side.
back.
Well, I don't feel like I can't go back because it's off the map. I'll go to the
You
side.
can go off. We were
There'll be the
back.
stairs right up there.
Yeah.
It's wherever
I'll
you
go
want.
up the stairs, whatever.
Boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop,
You make your
boop.
way up
Ask
like
Tina about it. She's
10
going
feet up
left
the
or
stairs. Yeah. Tina rarely is on the encounter maps in our D&D game. So you run up the stairs, and that brings us to the priests.
The what?
The priests.
I like that
This
they're
is the
called
high priest of Oras.
priests. That's
He
fine.
bleeds.
He's
Joe,
bleeding.
tell us what you think of the
22 more bleed.
I learned how
Go.
baby popes are
Be
made
right
today.
there. That's true.
You
We did
did.
do some biology lessons. They are fully just going to sacrifice themselves to
Yeah,
this
okay.
pit, and you watch as this creature regains the health that it lost.
Hate that.
Boo! All 15 points.
However, with these other two, the one that is bleeding, you can see they're staggering now, and almost like they fall at your feet, Echo. They just barely peel themselves back up. They look at you with these 4 or 5 eyes, many different colors and shades and textures across the pupil, and they are going to...
Hello. Please don't.
They have the room to do it, so they're going to stretch their arms out wide. You've already seen this once. You see 1 point of light, a second, and then a third.
Why?
And they are going to make an attack roll against you.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't.
Echo.
Sir.
I thought they would
Does
have died.
a
Sorry.
27 hit your EAC? And so you are able to dodge as the explosion goes off right next to you. These beams fire around you. You are moving through, just barely keeping yourself safe. But this creature fires these off all around you, and these lights are almost blinding. You get the sense that if these hit you, there's a possibility that you could get blinded by them as well. But none of them hit you. For you, Bubbles, this creature is going to take 2 attacks against you.
Yeah, let's do it.
A full attack with this living staff. First one is going to be a 43.
That hits.
With the 43,
Bludgeoning?
it is bludgeoning.
Okay, I take...
You are going to be taking
minus-
12. This is pretty good. 22.
minus 10.
You were taking 34 points of bludgeoning
So
damage
34.
as they just slam this
Plus
into
10.
you. The second attack, Bubbles,
Yep.
is going to be a 38 to hit.
And that's bludgeoning?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't do it for the second one, yeah.
That is going to be 12, 16, 17. That is going to be 29 points of bludgeoning damage. But that is both of the priests. That brings us to the Maw. It is going to move its full movement.
The Maws are master.
Oh, good.
There.
I
Echo,
love that.
this creature rushing towards you.
Hey.
And from its position, it is going to get 1, 2. She is actually out of its range now. Where's Spice at? Spice is up the stairs 10 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Spice is just outside of the range as well.
Congrats.
Is the radiation moving with it?
It is, but
Yeah.
it's at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So Echo and Bubbles.
Yeah.
The two of you, I would say, Bubbles, you're taking 1 attack. Echo, unfortunately, out here in the open, you are taking the other 2.
I am hovering in the air, so I don't know if I see it.
That is true. You're still taking 1 attack. Oh,
Okay.
you know what? It's not blinded anymore. I can still see you.
True.
So it is going to take this first attack against you, Bubbles.
Yep.
Bubbles does a. I balanced it back. I took a couple. I took some people away from this encounter
I appreciate it.
because otherwise, I did a little bit of
die.
math and it would have not worked for you guys.
No.
TBK.
33 against your KAC, Bubbles.
That's a meets it beats it.
There you go. With this meets it, beats it, it strikes you hard. And as you get hit flush in the chest
What
by
is
this
what kind of
pseudopod,
is it piercing, bludgeoning?
hang on 1 second. 8, 9, 10, 27. This is going to be just 27 points of bludgeoning
Okay.
plus 33 points of acid.
That's
And
a
you beat
bad
that 37?
Huh?
You beat that acid?
33.
33, okay.
Echo, first attack against you,
Plus 5.
38.
Yeah.
With a 38, Echo, you are taking. Oh, you got very fortunate.
Jinx.
I don't.
Oh, maybe I.
Please
never mind.
let the fortunate stand.
You are taking 8 points of bludgeoning
never
damage,
Okay.
near minimum, and 33 points of acid damage.
So 33 is standard. Okay.
It is standard.
I like that for all of us.
And then finally, Echo, the final strike. Whew. That is going to be a 48 to hit.
Why?
And that is going to be 10, 20, 21 points of bludgeoning damage, plus 33 points of acid damage.
Hate that. I'm not doing well.
This creature, thump, 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 just hits you again and again, and each hit
Time for movement.
splashes acid across you, but you are still up, Echo.
Big boy.
That
Barely.
is the Maw's
Mubi.
turn, and you can feel the radiation pouring off of it. That brings us to Mubu. Right at the end, at the end of the Maw's turn, they are going to lug this explosive across this space. Ooh. Ooh.
Boo is?
Moo-boo?
Oop.
Moo-boo's right here.
Oop. I know. Oop.
What?
Oop.
What?
What
What's
was that
happening?
about?
So you see Mubu lob this grenade, and it just drifts.
Oh.
Not in a terrible way for all of you. It does
Okay.
not hit into the shaft, but it is going to absolutely hit this guy.
Does it hit Echo?
No, it does not hit Echo.
Thank
Echo
God, I
just
have 13
barely.
hit points.
And Echo, you see as they throw this, it is not a grenade. It is far too large to be a grenade. This looks more like a square or rectangular plastic parcel. And as they
That's right.
toss it, you do see this little blinking light that gets brighter and brighter and faster before it explodes. And it is a forceful explosion. They are going to first make a fort save. They're going to fail. And so you watch as directly in front of you, Echo, they take 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Not a lot. 22 points of damage, which... Give me 1 second here.
Is he still bleeding?
Yeah.
He is still bleeding. As that explosion clears away, you are looking at a Biomancer with like bones sticking out of flesh. You can see they are just barely moving. They actually have less health than you. They are in bad shape, but they are still up, and you can see with the last vestiges of their strength, they try to drag themselves towards this maw. But that is Mubu's held action. That brings us to Mubu's turn. Mubu is going to...
Try again, but better.
No, Mubu's going to pull out their weapon now, and they're going to start taking some shots. Using this laser rifle, they're going to take one shot, completely missing this larger creature, and a second shot, which is going to hit.
Echo.
Now, I like that, though.
I know.
For 18 points of fire damage, and that seems to do the full amount that you'd expect. That is Mubu's turn. That brings us to the top of the round to you, Shade. Shade, you can see Echo is being shredded out here. There's an explosion that goes off directly in front of you. What do you want to do?
I think the best thing I can do right now is... I think I'm just going to stay where I am and make a full action attack at this dude. And
Okay.
just fire off a couple rounds from here, because I don't want to get irradiated.
What? Why not?
I think we should just kill it.
Echo's having a great time.
I think the plan was to kill it. That's what we're doing.
Actively trying to
Nice.
kill it.
So the
Maybe we
first
could have
hit
planned it first
is
and then
19
rotate it.
on the die, so
Rotate
that
it
makes it a 36.
That is a hit.
Nice. Alright, so it's not going to be a ton of damage, but every little bit counts. 20 cold damage.
Okay.
Second attack. It's going to be a 35 to hit.
That is going to be a hit as well.
Alright, and that's going to be another 19 cold damage.
Very nice. And that's doing the full amount that you'd expect it to.
And that is it.
Okay.
For me.
So from where you are standing atop this like mound of rubble, you take the rifle out, you fire these cold shots through the air. They hit elements of this ooze, freeze solid, and then just shatter into the pit. That is doing damage, but that brings us to Echo.
I'm finally no longer nauseated.
But you are very close to getting nauseated again. You can feel the radiation oozing over you. What do you want to do?
Well, Echo is actually within striking distance, yes?
Yes.
We're gonna just hold this in place. It's gonna happen again slightly.
You could just take a grenade and stick your hand out.
I'm out of grenades, unfortunately. And we're just going to make a the quad attack and move.
Sure.
Not great. Not great, friends. Now it's reloading. Oh no, this is the wrong.
Oh no.
This is not. Don't reload on me, Echo! I know you're so low on health.
Oh, and Hephaestus is reloading?
Yes!
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes.
I hate it.
It gets stuck and it doesn't go. That happens to me.
I forgot which modifier I was using, so it's the polarity gauntlets. It's 31 minus 4, it's 27 to
That
hit
is
the
a miss,
wounds.
unfortunately.
Great, that was the highest one.
That's unfortunate. You imagine if you had not taken a full attack, that might have hit. But here, unloading as much as you can, almost rushing this moment because you are in striking range and you can finally hit it, you miss.
Shocker.
Anything else, Echo?
Taking my move action.
Okay.
Now that this is no longer a concern, we're just gonna take this barrel and we're gonna go zoop. And we're gonna get right here.
Okay. So you get right to the edge. You can see there is a element of kind of like churning ooze here because this creature has moved. There is other stuff jammed into this shaft that is causing part of the blockage, part of what you need to clear out.
Do I still feel the radiation?
From where you are, you do not.
Okay.
Right at the edge of it, you imagine.
Great. Love that for me.
Anything else?
That is all.
All right, that brings us to Bubbles. Spice, you were on deck.
Bubbles is going to attack the guy in front of him with a spring attack and then move here.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Bubbles is going to like kind of run into this guy. He's going to attack and Bubbles is going to be hurt. Then Bubbles is going to kind of like do a bounce off kind of hit to get in the air and use to propel himself backwards.
Okay, make your attack roll.
That's a fun little aside to my fellow
That's a
players.
15 plus
This is how many rounds we have till D-Day.
21
Well, again, we can.
is
We don't have to. Have
sorry, I got distracted.
worries.
15 plus 21 is
30,
36.
Yeah,
36.
36 is a hit.
Yep.
seconds off.
And then sorry.
Roll damage.
Sorry.
Name for this?
Obviously.
5 15 19 26 26 plus 21 is
47.
47.
47 points of damage. You've only hit this guy twice, but he is starting to really look bad now.
Okay. And then Bubs is going to move here.
Okay, you leap back, landing amongst the tendrils of these kind of nerve endings that wind around the elements of piping
floating,
and floors.
so I'm not on it.
Absolutely, but you are very close to it. You can feel these things writhing around you as this room feels angry. But that is your turn, Bubbles. That brings us to Spice.
Dun 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 dun! Spice. Oh shit! I forgot Echo's in trouble.
Dun, dun,
Dun 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 dun. Never mind. Spice. Echo, you're like right close to me, right?
Nope.
Oh, I can't reach you anyway. Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wow, what a roller coaster.
It really was. I was like, oh, she's gonna
I
help
was
me.
fully
Wait, no, she
convinced
can't.
you were like where Bubbles was.
No,
just
I
can't see
moved
you
to
from
get
here.
away from the radiation.
Oh, well,
What you doing?
I can't save you now. Spice.
Said so
I
happily.
know.
What's her? Flutters her eyelashes, blinks a couple times, and activates her psychoactive eyes. I'm not gonna hit it. I'm gonna make it, or try to make it only hit me from now on. Let's see. Will saving throw, please.
Okay.
I mean, that's honestly not a bad idea. It keeps it away.
16.
No, you fail.
Oh my god.
Is this a mind
Lord.
affecting effect?
Oh shit, it is. I forgot about that.
This creature
That was
does
a
not
good idea,
seem
though.
to have enough sentience for this to work. It's a great idea.
Yeah,
Part of
that
why
would've
they
been
have such a
good.
low modifier.
Does it
is they
see
don't
where
really
it's
have a
being
mind.
attacked though from?
It does not.
Ah.
Ah, fuck.
Well,
Sorry.
it sees like.
So
little
Spice
pink lights
flutters her
off in the
eyes.
distance.
See, it almost takes,
Either way, it's
but it
hard
doesn't.
for
She
this
goes,
guy to heal.
fuck, and then she's going to run 30 feet
Okay.
to somewhere, trying to hide.
Up the stairs?
Yeah, you can only go back away from the combat or onto the map.
No, I guess I'm gonna go closer to it then. I'll
Okay.
go back onto the map and towards that crate, I suppose.
Okay. So, move over in the direction of Bubbles. You make your way
30
off in that
feet.
direction. You feel briefly
I don't know
the
where that is.
radiation kind of overtop you, but you are able to move
30.
by it.
Just 30.
How far back is the hallway?
It's only
10.
Okay,
So 10
then
off the
20.
board, and then, yeah.
10, 15, 20, we'll say right there.
Yeah. That is your turn, Spice.
Cinema Q. Pew pew.
Make your attack roll. This could be the killing blow.
It might be. Alright, Cinema Q, I choose you! That was dramatic. Natural 19.
For a total of?
For a total of 30.
Against EAC or KAC.
That's not. Oh, yeah. Does it count with Cinema Q?
What?
Success breeds success.
Yeah.
So everybody who's hitting slime thing,
It's
it's a
immune to
19 or a
Sort of.
20 to hit.
This creature is immune to critical hits.
Does that mean you can't double the damage on it?
It means you cannot double the damage.
Okay, well.
But what about crit effects?
It is immune
No.
to critical hits.
I thought it just meant that the crit effects would take hold. I
Wait.
realized it meant the double damage
It's
too.
also resistant to damage.
12, 13, 14, 19 points of fire damage.
19 points of fire damage is nothing to sneeze at. Cinema Q able to break the damage resistance of this creature. Anything else, Spice?
Goes invisible.
All right, that is Cinema Q and Spice. That brings us to the Biomancers of Oras. The one who is bleeding bleeds out on their turn. They are no longer. The one that Bubbles keeps punching is going to stagger 10 feet forwards, and you can see they stretch their arms out. They are ready to use this laser on Spice. But then they turn and they see this creature has taken some damage. And in this moment, they spread their arms wide, they turn the corner, and they just walk into this ooze and just fade in as they
that's
get
its whole
absorbed
turn?
as
Fuck.
a
I was hoping the ooze would
pseudopod-like attack.
Make a turn towards
And
it
then
as well.
all it re-heals itself.
It reheals itself, all of that guy's remaining health,
Which
which,
is much.
for what it's worth, not a tremendous amount.
Okay.
Enough.
But
Every little bit.
it certainly does make this creature swell up just a little bit more. And that is the Biomancer's turn.
Well, at least we got all the little guys off the map.
That brings us
In
to
one
the
way or another.
Maw. So the Maw is going to move.
Can the Maw squeeze through?
It can.
Oh no.
It's an ooze.
I'm getting big,
I don't know, Jello is oozy and it's
It is going to ooze onto the top of this.
oh, gross.
not good.
And it is on top face. You can also
No
see.
face, but also
Yeah,
big,
very much.
okay.
You can see like the tendrils move around it on the left, the right, underneath, through the elements that the tripart beam had burst through the box. All through this thing, it oozes around and through towards you. And then it rises back and tendrils strike out towards you and Spice. Bubbles, you are taking 2 attacks.
Yeah, let's do it.
Spice, you are taking 1.
Okay.
Bubbles, first attack is going to be a 47 to
That
hit.
hits.
All right, and so 47 with the pseudopod is going to
Is that
be...
bludgeoning?
It is...
And acid.
33 points of acid to be exact.
23, 26, 30. Ooh, boy.
60-something
Bubbles,
damage.
that is going
Not
to
gonna
be 31 points of bludgeoning damage plus 33 points of acid damage.
Alright, so 30.
64 total.
Can you repeat the second one? The acid is
33.
33 points.
Okay, so 33.
The second attack is going to be a 38 to hit.
That hits.
38 to hit hits.
Damn.
That is going to be much better for you for damage. 6, 10. That is only going to be 13 points of bludgeoning damage plus
Okay, so
33
that's
points of
3.
acid.
And then the second one is
33 points of acid.
33.
And then Spice, the attack that goes against you, is going to be a 48 to hit.
Oh, as her reaction, she
Damn,
you
I am
see her
real close to
flicker
death.
in and out of existence.
Oh, nice.
Phase graft.
Okay.
There's a 20%
Roll a
miss
20.
chance.
Roll a d20.
20 or 100?
Roll a 100. That's much easier. Yeah.
Let's not do math
if
here.
you roll above an 80, it is a miss.
Okay.
Let's not do math on Mathfinder, please. Oh, God.
61.
Unfortunate. There is a brief flicker, but it is not timed up to allow you to dodge this attack. You are going to be taking 10, 11, 12, 21 points of bludgeoning plus 33 points of acid as this pseudopod hits you and then immediately begins to corrode your skin. And you can feel your skin not just burned, but almost slurped off your body and into this ooze. That is all 3 of its attacks. That brings us to Mubu.
Yikes.
Mubu is going to use their retro thrusters to fire down next to Echo.
8.
They... Boy.
They can either set the explosive or they can heal me. Those are the only two that I expect. And if Mubu's not doing either one of those, Echo will lobby to take money out of the pay. Echo won't do that.
Echo's gonna say, "Pray I do not alter these terms any further." So you can see Mubu lands right next to you. They just sound thrusters sputtering out. They turn, they have this like kind of explosive in one hand, but they dip into their pocket and they go, "You're really not looking so good. Are you really professionals?" And they pull out a Serum of Healing Mark III.
Nice.
And they kind of go, "Huh?" As if to like ask for permission. And they just jam it straight into your collarbone and depress this plunger. Can you roll 68 and take the appropriate amount of healing?
68.
Wow.
This is a
69.
Mark III Serum of Healing.
Damn.
68.
They plunge that into you. They leave it kind of dangling in your
26.
skin and then grab their weapon with the free hand. That is Mubu's turn. That brings us to the top of the round. And because it is 8:10 and a good place for us to take a quick break, this is where we're going to step away. You will see a countdown on your screen, and we will be back to conclude this combat at the end of it.
We're gonna
We will
die!
see you then. It's
We'll
very
be
possible.
fine.
We'll see you then. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. If you did, if not, welcome to Starfinder. We're in combat. And we're going to jump right back into initiative.
Oh, shit.
As you fight this creature that has absorbed many of its allies, kind of defending this churning, almost locked chasm that is filled with this ooze. Mubu has just healed you, Echo, but many of you are closed in by this creature. This does bring us to the top of the round and to Shade. Shade, you can feel from this distance the radiation going away as this creature moves further and further away from you. You see Mubu and Echo off to your right. Echo has one of these explosives. You have one as well. What are you doing? With that exact sound effect, you enable your jetpack and you fly across.
Put it on all three.
What?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but I'm gonna come over here. And I'm gonna say, "Can you get the third from Bubbles?" And I'm going to set down my. Well, did you already set the one down here?
I have not.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, Echo is cuddling it.
Okay,
And
so I'm
bleeding
gonna.
everywhere.
I would like to set the explosive down here.
Okay.
And then, from this position.
When you say set down, just like on the lip of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to use my action to begin the process of setting these explosives.
So as an action, you can set the explosive.
Okay.
Yeah.
One action per explosive. Yep. Okay. So I guess then I will set this explosive, and then that's my action. My exocortex from this range, I think I can reach.
You were within 40 feet.
Yeah, but I'm actually gonna reach to Spice.
Okay.
Oh.
With
The fuck?
I'm going to use.
Are you attacking me?
No. I'm gonna use amplified glitch. So. As a standard action, I can wisely introduce a fast-acting virus into nearby technological devices to briefly cause them to malfunction in loud, surprising ways. I can use it to target one creature per character level, blah, blah, blah. It's the one where I have a range. And I'm using the eyes from Spice and her comm and all of the technology from that point.
I would say that it would be hard to do that without also targeting Spice as one of those creatures, just because you're doing that to her eyes.
Could I do it to just her comm then?
I mean, yes. I think though, like using another character's like features, it would make it kind of tough to not like have it also influence them.
I mean, I can just do it on myself then.
Yeah, and I think that you're
own,
well, and
because it's not. It's the one that causes shaken, so it's more about like just lots of stuff.
I just don't think that the spatial parts of this are going to work out. It's amplified glitch.
Yes.
You can target one creature per character level, no two of which can be more than 30 feet apart. Each target can be carrying a technological device or be within sight and hearing of each device. It is within sight. And I think it's because this isn't meant to be used for things like cybernetics and like communicators. We've been allowing that.
Well, isn't it a technological device?
Right, but again, like if it's in Spice's face. So what I'm going to say is for this especially, like we'll allow it for now, but we're going to review how it moves going forward.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think it's a little bit unbalanced as is.
Okay.
So go ahead. What is the check for that?
I make a computer check.
Okay.
And it's, the DC is 15 plus 1 per target plus 1.
Yeah, I have it up.
And that's
All right.
You do you, babe.
Or I can punch it.
42.
That is going to be a
You do
failure.
you, babe.
You can.
All right. So they're shaken for one round.
Sorry, they succeed.
Oh. Okay.
Or rather, you fail because that is your computer's check.
Okay, then that's it from me.
This is when you get up to higher CRs, this is a wild DC.
I'm gonna go here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no problem. This creature seems to be able to shrug this ability off. That anything else, Shade?
Nope. I'm setting about the engineering of these explosives.
Okay. It's very low-tech engineering, ion tape or whatever you want to use to be able to adhere it to this element. It's really just the amount of like time to set it down and not just drop it into the ooze, really getting it secured away. But no problem. You set one of these. One of the 3 charges is set. That brings us to Echo. Bubbles, you're on deck.
Yeah.
So one charge is set here.
Right in front of you.
I was going to go over here
Okay.
and set charge number 2.
All right. So you use your action, you drop down, you pull the strip of ion tape across, and mirroring Shade's placement, you set one down as well. 2 of these explosives are down. Anything else, Echo?
I believe that is all Echo can do.
That brings us to you, Bubbles. You
Bubs.
have the last explosive in your possession.
Unfortunately, Bubs has like 30 HP left,
Uh-huh.
and I will not survive an attack from this ooze.
Who knows?
So I'm going to use the withdraw action, which gives me double my speed, but not take an attack opportunity. Go here, and I'm going to present the bomb to Shade. in hopes of-
Fantastic. Good use of withdraw, by the way. I don't know that we've actually
nice.
used it
Yeah,
before.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know if we
have,
ever have.
but
But fantastic. So with withdraw and spring attack, you are kind of bouncing back
Yeah.
and forth all over this space. Much more dynamic than you've been in the past.
yeah,
But that is your
I
turn.
should have spring attack way earlier.
Yeah, he definitely it would have made a big
too.
difference
It
in
was
some of these
nice,
places.
Yeah.
Um,
a lot
Shade,
funner.
for you, there is an explosive now proffered to you directly in front of you. You need just take it. That brings us to Spice.
Spice, I'm taking a picture of this thing literally just physically looming over her.
And you
she...
could feel like sick in its presence. You do want to create some space. Although you've been fine with the radiation so far.
Yeah, girl, I tan. She's going to think back for the moment, or to the moment where we were fighting in that like drug den, and there was that pit of like mutagen that Gibbs took away from Spice, so she couldn't get a clean sample of it. But then Spice took a sample anyway, and so Spice is going to pull that out of her pocket and load that into her needle or rifle and like point blank ka-toot into the thing.
Where did you get this again?
Yeah, make an attack roll. I
So
love
this
it.
is that fight when we were.
So
I
in
don't
the-
remember.
in-
It was like
Was
in
it-
one of the rooms on the way into.
It was the broken reactor that greater acid elemental had grown up in. Gibbs had fed it meat pucks,
Yeah.
and Spice has a sort of element of that in one of those.
But it's like
needles.
infected by Gibbs, Gaius mutagen type thing. Like, because I wanted to get a clean sample, but Gibbs wouldn't let me, so I took the
Alright,
dirty
okay, I
sample.
get
So yeah, make your attack
I
roll.
got it. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm hoping that this is going to fuck its genetics up. I don't know. I'm like, it's mutated, guys. Mutagen. The science works in my. I think it's gonna work.
Do you know that Spider-Man one gift where it's like, I'm something of a scientist
Yeah,
myself?
that's what I'm
yeah,
feeling.
that's
That's very much what is happening.
roll pretty good
But
on the
with like,
dice.
Doc Brown's face on it.
That's 27.
With the 27, that is a miss.
Dang it.
You fire, and maybe good that you missed this shot. As there's a brief moment where you see it kind of fly past. It is near the same color as this entity, just a little bit lighter, and so maybe would have healed it, but you miss. Anything else, Spice?
I'm gonna try to move out of the way.
Okay, where are you moving
She
to?
goes closer to her friends. Can you move me 30 feet closer to everybody?
So as you run over in that direction, this creature does take an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
God bless me.
She's technically not out of its range. Now she is.
No. Oh, well, maybe I'll stay within its range. She'll be running backwards, like pedaling.
Okay.
Like here.
So you kind of back up, keeping the crate close enough that you still have a little bit of cover. You know that if you run away from this, it will almost certainly just devour you where you stand. You hope that its vision is based on movement. But that brings your turn to a close. That brings us to the priest. They are all dead. That brings us to the Maw itself.
Oh, I have.
Spice, for what it's worth, can you make a fortitude saving throw at the end of your turn?
Yep. Oh, that's not a good roll. Fort, you say? 13.
That is a failure. Spice, you are taking 11 points of acid damage, and can you roll a d4?
Yep. Three.
You are nauseated for 4 rounds. You feel sick, and as you shrink into the space, your knees give out. You kind of fall to one leg. You're able to climb back up to your feet, but you are weakened as you feel the radiation pouring into you. Finally, this has broken through your town. But that is if you take radiation, if you get radiation poisoning, that is an affliction.
Okay, cool. I have something for that.
That brings us to
Boo boo.
No,
never mind.
that's the Maw.
It's the Maw.
So it is going to move.
The Maw can hold its action for when it dies.
It is
Hold its
going
action for
to.
death. Damn.
Oh wait, no, Spice is right there.
Yeah.
It is going to take a
no.
full action
Oh, my
to
God.
engulf.
Oh boy.
Bye, friends.
I am so
boy.
happy about this.
Okay, so let me read this real quick. 'cause
Oh,
this is-
boy.
I can't attack, cast spells, or concentrate on
No,
spells.
nauseated is bad. You can just move.
So this
Bye.
moves over, and
Just move around.
Spice, can you make a reflex saving throw to avoid being engulfed? You see this creature breaks through this crate. It oozes down and around and over top.
Why didn't you run away?
Nice, a natural
that's pretty good.
18. Okay, what is
that's
it?
good.
Reflex?
Yeah.
28.
Oh, please, Joe, please.
With a 28,
Joe.
that is enough.
Oh,
You
yes!
are not completely engulfed by this acidic creature, which would almost certainly just dissolve you where you stand. You are instead shunted just out to the front of it. Bubbles, you can see Spice is like pushed a little bit closer to you. Spice is beginning to be engulfed by this creature, but is able to just stay ahead of it.
Forever unclean.
My boots!
Not my heels.
Yeah, this
You
this
have
makes her
seen
unclean.
this creature attack before. You
Of the
have seen it
pitfalls.
hit like 3 different attacks. You get the sense that you would have taken damage basically from all of them with that engulf. That would have been a tremendous amount of damage, but you are okay. This creature's still all around you. You still feel this radiation pouring off of it, but that does bring us to Mubu. Mubu is going to...
I do have the bomb in my hand, so.
You do have the bomb in your hand. He's not going to put too much thought into the bomb.
No, it's fair. He is a.
He is going to rush over here.
He's just a subcontractor.
Echo is...
He's just a little guy.
He's going to take
I'm
cover
just
behind
trying
that
to
barrier.
survive at this point.
And Echo, you could see they put the Sub-Zero rifle right up on that barrier. They take 2 shots at this creature.
Nice.
First attack is going to miss. Second attack is certainly going to hit. Mubu, absolutely almost a critical hit. If this creature could be hit by criticals, it might just be one.
I love that for you, Mubu.
But since it's not, it is simply 9, 10, 11. It is simply 18 points of cold damage. This is nothing to sneeze at.
Did you?
Never mind. All right, that is Mubu's turn. Mubu turns, looks at you. They hold up like a little, almost comically like analog wristwatch on one of their arms, and they just say, "We're running out of time. We gotta go." But that is their turn. That brings us to the top of the round and to Shade. Echo, you are on deck. You see this bomb like directly in front of you. Bubbles is holding it out in their hand, turning and seeing like Spice be consumed by this creature. What are you doing?
There's a pillar there. Uh,
I have been cut off from my party.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the. Can I just free action or quick action?
Swift
grab,
action, yeah.
Swift action grab. From Bubs, the explosive. Move here. Well, I guess I'll move here so that I'm within range of this.
Smart.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my action to set this thing up.
Okay. You are right next to this creature. You can see it oozing over spice, but in this moment, you hear Mubu shout out that you're running out of time, and you turn and you begin to set this up. You pull the ion tape across, and you have set up the third of the needed explosives. All 3 of these now in place.
I'm going to calm to everyone. Retreat now. And then I'm gonna... I guess... I will distracting hack this thing with my exocortex.
Hell yeah, make your
and
check.
Put up my duke.
Oh, this is distracting hack?
Yeah.
Hmm?
It's not wielding any weapons, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah. Dang.
Just its teeth and weird eyeballs.
It's not great. A 20... 30... 38.
This is a sense motive.
Yeah.
6.
Six.
This creature doesn't seem to be super intuitive.
All right. It is flat-footed for what it's worth
Damn.
until the next attack.
You see all of its feet flat on the ground.
Wow.
And that's
What feet?
it.
Excellent. So you get close to this thing, you set up the bomb, you let everybody else know you can retreat, and that brings us to you, Echo. You have received word that everything is in place, and from where you are, you can see that to be true.
I have an idea that will help us escape. And as Echo bolts up the stairs, they are going to basically full action dash.
Okay.
Just like around the neural fibers up there
Okay.
to kind of just stomp on them.
Okay. May I suggest
Yes.
moving up there and making an attack against it?
Mhm.
So if you were attempting to maybe do damage to do something to those fibers,
I would
running
like
really
for it
fast
to
on it.
notice it.
So I would move up there and make an attack roll.
Okay. We're gonna use. The polarity gauntlets, and we are.
She slides on some
You're
gloves.
just going and
We're gonna
pulling on
use-
its eyelashes.
Echo is going to like
Just go
use
start
the
plucking them
partially
out.
like exposed wires and whatnot to cause extra sparking for their computer's
absolutely.
attack.
Oh, you're singeing them too.
Yeah,
Leave the curling iron on.
exactly.
Just crimp it.
So that is going to be a 31.
31 is not high enough.
Didn't think so,
Damn.
but hey, you gotta try. And that is a 28 to hit, so probably not gonna hit.
Not going to hit either.
The neural fibers up there, they have the same AC.
You stab into it, there is blood, there is pus, and there is flesh that is parted, but it seems to do almost nothing. It seems to almost cut itself off from that network.
Fortitude save for being.
Oh,
there
yeah,
at the end
yeah,
of my turn. It was a 30.
That is a success. Anything else, Echo?
Nope.
You stab into this stuff, but you do not seem to hit an important vital clump of this synapse that causes any kind of distraction. You do get the sense that you're moving in the right direction. This is absolutely a good idea.
Echo like telegraphs this idea to everybody, and it's just like Echo's just gonna stab things.
Yeah.
Have the speedy people stay behind and stab
Absolutely.
the things, and everyone else who is less speedy can escape.
That is your turn, Echo. That brings us to Bubbles.
Bubs is just going to use the run action
Okay.
and just run out of here.
Yeah, 4 times your movement speed. That will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Will it? I don't. I'm gonna do the long
It's got
round.
super reach.
It's got like a reach, so it's that you're leaving its range.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's quite
basically,
substantial.
Then
its
Bubs-
range is.
I would just run straight by it if you're gonna run.
I'm gonna do the withdraw action. Then.
There you go. So 2 times your movement. You withdraw twice in the same battle.
Double withdraw. Foop.
And I get.
It's like
It's
a
not a
cat
great method,
withdrawing
but, you know,
into one
Yeah.
corner and then having
Sometimes
to
you have to pull out.
Yeah,
the room.
yeah.
So
pull
at
out.
the
Bubs-
last minute, you hear that people are getting ready to finish. You pull out. You get up.
Bubs is all about the pull-up method.
There you go. You make it just to the stairs. You
Thank
begin
God
to run up.
Spider
You can
Fury
see.
is
You can. See,
Well, the plastic bubble is really it's.
you can
double
see
protection.
Echo is just like stabbing into and punching into this room. But that is your turn, Bubbles. That brings us to you, Spice.
Go.
Around you, this creature is oozing and threatening to engulf you. You can feel the sickening waves of radiation just radiate off this creature. What are you doing?
You know who also withdraws? Spice.
Nice.
Spice's pullout game is strong. And you make your way out, just escaping this creature.
I can't get bitches pregnant. Bye.
Part of it is like you have to drop down to your hands and knees and like scrape away to get there.
Also, Cinema Q is going to crawl to the back of her back and just go pew 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 with the
Okay,
laser.
sure. As you crawl away, Cinema Q almost like a cowboy taking parting shots off the back.
Get away.
Wouldn't that be dope if that was an actual 20?
would.
It's not. It's a 23.
That is a miss, but still, you withdraw. You make your way a little further away, and that brings us to the maw itself. Shade, you are directly in front of this creature. It is going to take 3 attacks. Well, actually, everybody else moved, huh?
Oh yeah, Echo's not there. Take Echo.
Mubu's still there.
Mubu is still there, but I mean everybody else immediately around.
Shade
So-
and Mubu are there.
This creature is going to use its full action to engulf, because you got to do it. So, can you make a reflex saving throw, please?
This is where you might want to jinx.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I
is
think
it
she
only
has to
there?
seen it.
Oh, really?
No, I don't.
Well, that's how
have to see
Silvery
it.
Barb works.
I'm gonna
No.
use my
I
one-a-day
don't need to see
reflex.
Okay, all right,
There you go.
All right,
Time to
okay.
use it.
Because holy shit.
Well, it has to be an enemy roll, so it's not.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
this is.
make
You
it
can't
roll.
jinx somebody
Still
else.
not great, but that's a 26.
Oh, okay, you've got it.
That is enough. And at this moment,
It
you
was
are
a
shunted out.
What was it before?
A 1.
Oh shit!
Now, Shade, can you make another reflex saving throw? This is a lower DC, but you are being shunted out into
to
this
not-
chasm of
Is
toxic
it to not
sludge.
fall?
Correct.
So
Oh,
I
but
do
what
get
about your
my
fucking
little,
Featherfall bullshit?
Well, yeah.
You
but
do,
I
and this
can't-
is a much lower DC.
Yeah.
This is an easier thing to dodge. You
That
also happen to be getting
one,
shunted out.
It was higher than that.
There
You
you
can
go.
dodge
Easy
an
enough.
ooze. You can
Yeah,
dodge
it's
a
like
fall.
You grab onto this metal barrier and you hold on, your feet dangling now over this pit. You fire off these jetpacks. You just stay up. But that is this creature's turn. That brings us to Mubu. Mubu is going to full action dash
Bye,
and
girl.
run up the stairs. I would say they like get up and they still have movement, but they stop up there seeing you stab everything. They kind of lock the rifle into place. They get ready to keep attacking and sticking around with this fight.
Shade, get the fuck out
That
of
brings
there!
us to the top of the round and to Shade.
I'm going to.
Withdraw!
You can feel the climax approaching and you need to pull out. You
So I go
fly out of here.
2 times my movement speed.
Yeah.
So
So that gets you up to
Okay.
the rest
all
of
the
us.
way.
Strong.
Yeah, I go up all the way to here, and then.
Next time we're using protection.
So all of you are able to get up to the second floor. Because it is Shade's turn, we have Echo, Bubbles, and Spice. Are you running just to get out of
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, I can't do anything else. I'm nauseated for another.
Echo
three
said
rounds.
Speedy team members stay behind to cover the others' escape.
Okay.
And Echo's staying behind and continuing to stab.
Cool guy
So-
explosion left behind.
Bubbles and Spice, the two of you rush up the floor, past these elements of vines and glowing pod flowers. You rush up again, and it's like the building grows more and more normal now as you go up in reverse. There are still corpses that Mubu left all over the place,
Classic Mubu.
but finally you get up and onto the top floor, this area that is now an overgrown kind of garden house. The steel shutters are down, but you can feel the somewhat less stale air of the interior of Aphrodite as you get to the very top floor and your escape. You can either use a zip line to get down, you can just jump off and jetpack down if you want, but you are in a place where you know that you are very likely to be safe.
Lady
Use
Love.
the zip line while you have the chance.
No.
Echo, you are staying behind and you are going to attempt to leave with Shade.
Yeah, Echo's gonna punch for a round.
So this does give them all one more round to take actions against all of you. It is nowhere. If it full action dashes, which is what it theoretically could do, it's moving 40 feet. So it's not going to be able to catch up to you. Instead, it is going to use Synaptic Fray. And up in the room that you are in, you hear this stretching sound as the synapses themselves get tight, and then they rupture like these muscle fibers exploding out, like a wound-up cord exploding into these net-like fabrics. Can each of you make a reflex saving throw as they attempt to ensnare you?
The ones who have stayed, or the ones?
The ones who stayed.
The ones who stayed. So that's you and...
Is it to be knocked prone?
I know. I was just looking to see if I would have passed.
19 on the die, so it's like a
22.
That is a success.
38.
And
I
Echo,
wanna do
that is
too.
just barely a success. As you are able to dodge out of this room, and the two of you can escape as well.
Nice.
On the last round.
Moob last time.
Why would you ask?
Because it's Boo-Boo!
Well, Mubu
I
is
have a-
not necessarily the speedy.
I have developed a soft spot for Mubu.
So in this moment,
No, but
as you are running out, you do see and hear, "Wait!" And looking back, Mubu has been ensnared as the synapses explode. The two Skittermander arms reach out. You would need to stay behind another round if you want to be
Echo
able to
will
save
stay.
them.
He's just
There
a
you
little
go,
guy.
Echo, you stay.
Yeah.
So Echo, instead of moving, what are you doing on that turn?
Echo's going to grab Mubu.
Make an athletics check.
Can I also
Yeah,
assist?
what? If we all
What is your
see
strength
Echo,
modifier? Or athletics modifier?
It's 20 plus 20.
Plus 20 for athletics? Add 20 to that roll.
So it's 34 plus 20 is a 54.
Easily, you and Shade each grab one of
androids
those
just go
arms, and you fire your jetpacks. You fire any element of movement that you have, and
them
you
up the
yank them out.
stairs.
There is a gout of this acid blood that just follows in this wake. This creature already almost cocooning Mubu in this moment, but you rip them free, and with Mubu in tow, you all escape.
Yes!
Yeah,
You
we
have all
didn't die,
made
but
it
we
to the
also
top
didn't
of this
kill it.
round. Give me a second here.
I'm pretty sure an explosion is gonna kill it.
Yeah, the
wanna
explosion
know
will
who the bodies
hopefully
were
blow it
that
up
it
because it's
consumed.
3 massive
Biomancers.
So here in this moment, for all of you now, you make it to the very top. You can feel the rumblings begin, and there is only like 6 seconds when you make it to the roof before this explodes. Are you just leaping off, flying
Yeah.
away from this building as it detonates?
I'm gonna offer a jetpack to Spice.
Okay.
She runs up, like still running. She'll do a spin and put her 2 arms in it,
Okay.
and then leap off the edge.
Fantastic. You leap straight off the edge. You are in Bubbles' arms.
And it
Shade, you
smells
jetpack
like
off.
Bubbles.
Echo's going to get on top of the zipline and run.
Okay. You
Smell.
run straight across the zip line. You go past Bubbles. You go past Shade. You go past Spice. You are faster than every other person. Mubu grabs onto the zip line, and as they move 5 feet, you are already halfway across, and you can just hear "wow!" But they
This deserves a roll.
down across. Each of you make your way across the space,
Yeah, Shade wouldn't use the zip line.
and
Only one
there
person on
is
the zip line at a
a
time.
deafening explosion. There's no big gout of fire, but you
moving on.
feel it in your feet, and the entirety of the Waymart shakes. Power in the block goes out. You can feel the refrigeration in the building below goes out. There is a big thud, and then the entirety of the condominium shakes and then sags in the center as parts collapse. The entire staircase likely just collapsing within. Whatever is on the bottom of this, buried at the bottom of this. But you see the walls still remain, the superstructure still remains, and so likely you have cleared the blockage.
Yay! Another one down.
Sure enough,
2 out of 3, baby.
Echo, you got a notification
Me too.
from Mosaic Team 4. There seems to be movement in the pipes almost instantly that has created some movement, and there is some things that you'll need to think about as they send you a picture, and the pressure is already beginning to rise somewhat.
Yeah, didn't I have it set so we're good.
What,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Are you adjusting it now that you've increased the
Yeah,
flow? Okay.
to safely adjust for the new pressure.
Make an engineering check.
Echo would assist by conveying it to other Echo.
All right, so you're gonna press this one there, and then go. That's 45.
With a 45. Easy enough. You look at all of the data that's coming in, and it's like the meme. It's very much like our math cam, where the numbers all float up, and you just make these quick calculations. And this is complex. This is a huge network of pipes and several different pump points, some of which aren't even accessible yet. There's one, in fact, near the very top of the flow line that has been completely closed off. But you still are able to maintain the flow such that you are now cycling elements of this ooze into like tributaries and into reservoirs that are built so that you can build this current without causing an overload. You are slightly shortening the overall amount of time that you had. You did have a long time before. Now,
days.
What?
We had like 28 days, right?
No, you had several weeks.
Oh, yeah, 28 weeks, right.
You had a tremendous amount of time. Now, it's a little bit less than half of that at 11 weeks.
Okay, still.
But you still have plenty of time. You've done a lot of work to prepare this in such a way that it has been relatively successful. And it is 3:01 a.m. You would imagine, having not asked for these explosions to stop, that over at the Brumble Street Bridge and over at the Glowing Canal, there are similar detonations taking place.
Do we see the fireworks and glitter?
From where you are, you certainly do not.
If you had stayed on the roof, you probably could have.
But you also did.
We're in the air.
You're in the air, but not high enough to be able to see that. And there's like tunnels and things between you and the neighborhood that other explosions
It's not like an
happen
open sky.
Yeah.
Damn it. I wanted to see that. I guess I'll just have to
Make a
watch
culture
the
check.
inspo.
I was gonna say,
Don't mind
could
if I
we just
do.
like check online?
I don't know. See, if Celia Sweet better be posting this right now.
Celia
I
Sweet is
wanna
on
see a
Prime Station
live.
right now.
Damn it. Okay, well, let's see. You say cultures? 31.
A 31, as you scan the infosphere, sure enough, there are...
Mid-leap, she's like...
Yeah, as you're landing, already the results are populating, and you can see there are videos pouring in of a explosively glittery red cloud that is following in the wake of this explosion. The Brumble Street Bridge collapsed. There's like terrorist activity, all kinds of kind of question marks.
Yeah, but glitter makes it
There's
not
glitter.
terrorism.
You needed to do enough damage to clear this thing. There's no people that are hurt by this.
Okay.
And you have almost certainly not just cleared this blockage, but made it quite hard to reblock. This bridge kind of washed away and into the Glowing Canal, and so to block this would mean like actually building a real dam. Just pulling together little elements will not cut it. You also see from the Glowing Canal section, the walkway was left intact. There are cracks across the surface of it, but the dam itself cleared without destroying the bridge.
Okay.
Leaving that, meaning that Dip and Diane will likely be able to stay open.
Hell yeah.
All in all, as you begin to read about and hear about the results of your mission, largely a success.
Yeah! Mosaic Team 5 for the fucking win!
We're not finished.
Okay,
Largely
well,
a
I'm gonna
success.
take the success while we've got
Not
it.
a total success.
Can we-
And at this, Mubu kind of looks at all of you and goes, "Wow, guys, you're pretty good. Do we have anything else we have to do?"
Not at the moment, no.
There's a laundromat that needs some
Maybe a
attention.
shower. I'm feeling gross after this.
I think what our friend means is it time for payment?
We all just turn our heads
Oh,
towards
yeah.
Mobu.
Are you paying me again?
Have you already been paid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You paid beforehand.
No,
Oh, you paid up
Bubs would
front?
be
That was
Bubs would be
dumb.
honest. We agreed the original deal was half and half.
Was it?
I believe that's what Ari set up.
Was it, Mobu?
I have marked that he got full payment. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been paid, huh?
Well, it seems as if you've already cashed the check.
He's mostly just asking, is he good to go home now?
Okay.
You don't want to
Do
go to
you-
the glitter
called already.
surprise
Thank
show?
you.
Do you need
for
a
your
ride?
assistance.
Honey, let
Yeah,
me tell
I'll take a
you,
ride.
the Crimson Nebula
Is our-
it's probably going to be pretty crazy.
Is our vehicle still
Yeah, we're parked
alive?
pretty close. close, right?
We are parked too close.
It's a giant armored vehicle.
That was a bunker buster.
You imagine that your vehicle is likely where you left it.
Okay.
The problem with that being it is under a lot of rubble.
Great. So
That was a rental too.
we parked it in front of the building. We did
Corbin's
not take a
gonna be
zip line over here.
pissed.
Boo took the zip line over
We're not
here.
gonna get our.
We parked
insurance
like
back.
further. Oh,
We parked
We
right in
parked
front
right
of the
outside.
door. We said it, and I said, "Can we?"
And then you cross
we-
the street.
And then I said, "Can we autopilot it away?" And people were like, "Ha ha ha!" And no one said anything.
damn!
You take the. We can walk
I
or do the
didn't
tram.
hear that.
But Shane, if
Beth,
you take
can
out
you
the
come
key
pick us
fob and
up?
you like lock, you do hear under the rubble a little toot toot. So it's still working and intact. It's just under
Can
rubble.
I try to connect to it to have it back out?
You could with your exocortex, it's within range. You try to move it, and you could, like where you see the power output going into the gear ratio, like it grinds
moving.
red
Yeah.
hot. This is too much pressure
not-
for it
yeah.
to move.
Mubu, I actually don't think we have transportation now.
Let's all 5 of us just go over there and pick it out. Let's just go.
How small is Mubu?
Like,
Is
probably
he
about-
is he a Gibbs size?
No, he's bigger than Gibbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Echo can't carry bigger than Gibbs.
Skittermander, like the mini, is like close to 5 feet, maybe a little bit.
Oh
more than 5
god
feet tall.
damn! I was picturing a little guy.
No, you did
thought he
meet
was a
one
little
really.
guy.
You did meet one really little Skittermander on a space station
Yeah.
once. Oceana is a little smaller than this one, about like 4'10", but still pretty big.
Mubu is a massive Skittermander.
I thought all
Mubu's a-
Skittermanders are small.
Many of them are, but Mubu is exceptionally large for a Skittermander.
Okay.
You've actually seen kind of 2 very extremes on the Skittermander
Okay.
spectrum so far.
Skitterman.
Well, Echo would just be like, I apologize. It seems our ride is inaccessible, and we will be taking public transit.
Who do we know?
That's
Pick
okay.
us up.
Shade's just gonna
Oh,
turn and start
us.
walking back.
No.
Just start walking.
Yeah, Spice is going to call.
Pull out a cigarette.
We can call an Uber.
Yeah, but I feel like it'd be nice to call in one of our contacts. She's going to call Ufrio von Loxalans and say, "We need a ride." That's all she says.
This is Team 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They're
super
busy.
far away and they don't have a ride.
And they're busy manning the station.
Okay, never mind. She'll call.
No one
Babs.
is going to be.
Called Babs.
Well, I guess Babs.
Well-
Babs of all people might
Roll a
be
D100.
nearby.
Echo runs away.
Yeah, Shade's just
I really
walking
want to
back
make
to
Babs
the-
work. Babs was the NPC who Olive latched onto for this arc, and I won't
You make a
Wow.
throwaway PC, and Olive's gonna.
What about that guy at the card
True for
shop? You
everybody.
latched onto him too.
a literal 8.
Literal 8. You make this call,
Babs.
and then you remember it's 3 in the morning. You're
Oh,
probably
right.
not going to be awake, especially not, on a Friday morning like this, or a Saturday morning now, I suppose.
Especially
I don't
when
know.
she's still
Babs seems like
unemployed.
she knows she
I'll
does.
continue with Shade going to the public transit.
Okay, so the 3 of you make your way off to public transit. Spice, you spend like 10 seconds just looking through your list, like who could be up, and then you see
Admiral, whoa, can you give us a chopper? Maybe not the time.
you follow
got
the rest of your group. You all
Get a
make
note
your
from
way.
the director.
Fire the laser.
You do know it is quite close to make your way over to the Mars transit station, and you can board and make your way back to T-Town with no further issue.
Nice.
We did it.
Is there anything in the news about this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
As
how
you go
much
back,
is-
you can see there are several people with their communicators open. They're watching videos. It is all over News 69, the channel of
Bub's just
Aphrodite.
gonna let out a, whoa, that's crazy.
There you go. It is crazy. You can see that there are all kinds
No,
of
it's damn, that's
questions about this. Why glitter? There are like talking heads that are just saying, well, you could never get rid of glitter. This is clearly an act of terrorism. And like all kinds of just, like, different
that's how they
perspectives that
interpreted it.
are happening here.
We should have included music.
It was biodegradable.
And there are
right?
people who have already remixed it so that you can see like there's like this old man who's like walking away, and the perspective of this like security camera makes it look like he's much closer to the explosion than he is, and it is just like this glittery explosion and them going ah! And then they just remix it and remix it and remix it, and it's a little catchy.
I want to watch the reverse video where it's a building eating a bunch of glitter.
Yeah, absolutely. People have done that too. Depending on your algorithm, you see different versions of this event. But you make your way back to the laundromat without issue. Yeah.
Is Mosaic Team 5 in any of them, or is it just like, wow, this is what happened?
You are not mentioned at all. There's a lot of speculation about everything from eco-terrorists to giant sewer rats to potentially even the awakening of a god.
Oh.
And in the world of Starfinder, none of those is truly outside of the realm of reasonable.
Mm.
Technically, all have a little bit of what happened.
Yeah.
All right, so laundry.
Nice!
It is a
You all
giant
arrive
sewer rat.
up on the outside of your street.
It
is
only took
dark.
us a double undercover to get here.
It is relatively quiet because here at 3:30 in the morning, even the Boozy Sunset Cantina is closed.
Nice.
The street is very quiet. You can see across the street from your laundromat in the Martian comics, a tremendous amount of signage has been put up for this Laser Monster Card Arena tournament, which is fast approaching. You can see costumes are encouraged. There's a door prize. You can see packs have been built up and kind of stored on the table just beyond the window. New cardboard cutouts have been placed of some of the newest monsters from the Data Arcanum release. They've definitely stepped up their game, knowing that more people are coming.
You know who's got Data Arcanum? Oh,
I
that didn't-
heard that the creator of the game themselves is going to be there.
So I guess we'll all go inside. Before Bubs left, Bubs was the night before. He saw Spice getting stuff for her costume.
Yeah.
Bubs is going to just very tiredly get something that he laid outside the dumpster.
Okay.
A dumpster?
Well, Spice made. Bubs was like, "Oh yeah, I'll look at the dumpster for something for your costume."
Okay.
And he'll like wait to bring it inside. Wait till like the others go upstairs or whatever.
Is there anything that people are doing before getting a little bit of rest before we tick on over to Saturday? A day of rest, a day of just relaxation, perhaps a day of a little bit of laser monsters?
Spice is going to comment on all of the posts, but also be like, before she showers, she's going to be like, today was a day. Oh my god. She'll be on like
Intercepted.
live and be like, it was wild today. Oh my god, did you guys see the glitter explosion? But not actually say it was her. She'll just be a part of the fanfare.
Okay.
She'll just like hype it up more.
Absolutely. You
after-
post a tremendous amount. You really latch onto the algorithm, and you're getting a ton of feedback.
Hashtag glitter, 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 glitter terrorism,
After
glitter
Spice
terrorism.
does that, can Bubs get Spice and see if she can come downstairs?
Yeah.
Bubs.
Look at the glitter terrorism. It's doing so well.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's awesome that you're passionate, and you know, I saw you were making the costume, and you asked if there was anything I could help you with. So I just, you know, I found these things that, you know, it might, you know, that some of this cardboard might help you. Some of these wire hangers, and
Spice is going to unspool the coat hanger,
Okay.
stretch it out taut.
is your costume still like laid out on the floor?
Oh yeah, Spice
Okay.
didn't clean it, and
Okay.
so are all of her cards. Like, and she's made like a fence around it so no one can go inside. And like it's
It's
taking
all
up
the
like
do not
the
touch
entire
cones.
living room right now.
All the wet floor cones have been erected
Yeah.
into a little barrier.
Bubs would probably have brought you downstairs.
Into the laundromat?
I think that's where you were setting it up.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were.
Um,
You drew a picture of it.
Bubs is gonna just like kind of like just watch you kind of work and just like kind of like sheepishly just like
She'll start like threading the wire through the cardboard, and you see it starting to evolve into this elaborate sword.
and for the first time, like Bubs is kind of alone with Spice and he's trying to make conversation, and not be so weird. He feels like they're past the weird part, and so he's like gonna try to be busy. There's a machine right next to him. He's going to fill it full of soap, and just let it run, and put the soap down right on the top, and just go. So what are you making?
I'm making a rare. It's the super rarest card that I actually just picked up, and she'll start sifting through her cards and see if she can find it. I'll tell you, it's been crazy trying to get this done in time because we've had to look at the... Where the fuck is it? Oh my god.
We need a shuffling cam.
Oh, here we go. Crimson Halo Revenant. And she'll pull out the card and she'll be like, this one is going to slay tomorrow. And you see it's kind of like a ghostly galactic figure. That's a cosplay that she's building. So there's like star sparkles, but also like shooting stars, and like it's a little bit shadowy. It's obviously undead, but it's in the shape of a rabbit for some reason.
Bubs is like...
I wasn't expecting that. That kind of got me.
You're
Bubs...
the one who told me I could decide what it looked like, so...
It's like the fucking rabbit.
Bubs...
It's a celestial rabbit. Revenant.
Okay.
Kind of sees like Spice like describe it and like show the different parts and stuff like that. And
He's like, this is
Spice...
how I do the shadow. This is the Revenant part.
And as Spice does, as Bubs starts to look at Spice's body, as he like describe, come on, he'll just look at it and just goes, yeah, and he's like gonna get a little flustered. Oh, and that'd be like a really cool. Oh, that's gonna match.
This is the claws part, and you see how it ties in the ears.
And then
right?
Bubs is just gonna start getting a little bit more flustered. And he's gonna try to hide this. He's gonna make himself like a little bit more busy. He's gonna go for the soap again. He's gonna add it again to the wash machine.
Okay.
Spice doesn't say anything, but she clocks it.
Bubs doesn't even register that he's doing this. And he puts it back on. Yeah, so this costume it's really nice. Oh wow. So do you have like a...
Your communicator goes off.
Yeah.
Are you checking it?
Yeah.
It's TV.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, never
Yeah,
mind.
so I'm also, you see how the bunnies go all the way up to my thighs? It's going to be a little bit furry, and then I got this little tassel that hangs
Oh wait,
off the
hold
side.
on. And Bubs is gonna like do like he's gonna look down.
Okay.
And he's gonna do that half sly smile.
You look down at that message and it
Who
says,
was that?
do you have sex? And then it comes back, sec, little asterisk, and then, oh my god, I'm so sorry, autocorrect.
Bubbles, what's wrong with your face?
Oh.
Who was that?
Bubs is gonna get really, really red.
Who was that?
No one.
Who was that?
It's just a one of those spam messages.
That doesn't seem like a spam message.
Bubs is gonna get like really flustered. Hold on, I gotta add.
Keep auto blocks those.
I gotta hold on. And Bubs is gonna turn the machine. He's gonna add more soap to the machine.
Who was that?
You, at this point, you empty, and roll a D100 just for fun.
Oh no.
I need a D100. I don't have one of those.
Roll a D20 just for fun.
Okay. Oh my god, Joe.
Is it a natural one?
It's a natural 20.
Okay. As you're about to dump this in, you realize that you have actually just pulled a box of this quantum fabric softener, and if you had dumped this in on top of everything else, you would have been unable to lie. But you don't take that box. You put it down, you grab a box of soap, and you dump it in for the third time. This is far too much soap, and a problem of a different variety. But, yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that 20 saved your ass.
Get
Damn,
another
dude.
message from Tiffy.
Damn, she's got a lot to say to you right
But
now.
Bubs is just gonna go. No, Spice. Beep didn't block them. It was obviously the spammers. They found a way to get around. How do I turn this thing off? And Bubs is like kind of getting like really like sweaty and just looking at Spice.
And
That's been
Spice
9
is
messages now.
daggers.
Bubs is gonna quickly look at the machine. Is the machine starting to overflow?
Not yet. So right now the water, like the thing is just locked.
Okay.
And the water is
It's
beginning to
filling
pour in. But you're seeing suds and you shouldn't be seeing suds yet. You clocked that right away.
Okay.
Who the fuck is texting you at 3 in the morning?
4 in the morning now.
4 in the morning, Bubbles.
Wow.
Different time zones.
You know, just
Just spammers. Yeah.
well, no, just someone I met on Oars Bay. Just people.
Is it a spammer or is it someone you met on Oars Bay?
Well,
Keep your story straight.
Look at this machine, Spice. It's something's wrong with it. Help me.
Spice does not move.
Okay, you're not there, and all of a sudden, now the entire window is filled with foam, and you can hear the water has barely started filling this up. This is going to be a problem.
Bubs is going to open it panically.
You open, and in that moment, foam just rushes out. It is like a chemical reaction.
My outfit, you fuck!
And it just goes across not just the outfit. Actually, Spice, you can see in this moment there is a real threat that it is going to go across your cards.
Oh my god, what?
Make a reflex saving.
Bubs is going to try to
Oh my god,
help
Bubbles,
Spice.
You fuck this, I'm gonna kill you.
Make a reflex saving throw as well.
God.
We'll take the higher result.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm like actually mad now.
Hey, but you
Your
still-
stupid RP is threatening my
You
game.
have 12 hours before the tournament. You have plenty of time to recover.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't roll good.
I rolled good.
I rolled a 15.
I rolled a
Total?
17 plus 10.
17 plus 10 is a 27, and in this moment, as you see first the costume, and you're concerned, but much worse than that,
The cards.
you see the cards.
I go for the
Almost
cards.
all of Spice's cards are laid out meticulously in this space. A barrier has been erected to keep people away, but a barrier that will stop people will not stop soap and will not stop water. You have just a moment, and in this moment, you do the only thing that you can. You throw yourself across the space like you are taking a bullet. And the force field that is always present around your body forms an effective barrier against this liquid. Spice, Bubbles buys you just enough time to madly have you scramble all of your cards back up. You have to ruin all of the organization. This is going to take hours of work undone, but
Hours?
you do not ruin. Yes,
Actually,
literal
remember, She
hours.
stayed up.
Literally
Yeah.
almost 6 hours of like sorting them out, organizing them. In this moment, lost, but you do not damage a single card. And you do not damage your costume. Bubbles, you get soaked.
Spice snatches her cards out of his hand.
so
And a
sorry.
final message comes across your
and she
communicator.
stomps
insult
the
to
fuck
injury.
up the stairs. Give me back that revenant.
I'm sorry.
Spice takes that
Give it
card,
to me in real
stomps
life.
back up, and Bubbles, you are left wet and alone in the dark on this floor.
It's real.
Do you read the messages?
Shade
Yeah.
just sends a message.
You take a
Quiet
deep
down,
breath.
please.
You look. So right before you read it, a message from Shade comes up that just says, "Quiet, please." Then as that banner just scrolls back up, and you read the messages. You read from Tiffy, "Sorry," and then another message, "Not a perv, I swear," and then another message, "But sex is absolutely cool too," and then another message, "Oh my god, are you still there?" And it's just message after message of her panicking and panicking, and then there is a point where she says, I really just meant to ask if you wanted to go out when you get to Aura's Bay. There's this new like wave system that's open, and then there's like a minute where you don't respond still, and then fine.
Bubs will respond. Sorry, I didn't have service for a second. Yeah, yes to all of those things. Well, not liking, and then he's gonna say, what was the what's sect? What?
Sex.
But sex is totally cool too.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great. And Bubs would look up a place in Oris Bay, like a restaurant or something.
You know of a good one.
You know
What's-
of one.
Hakashita Hana.
Yeah, take her to
Hakashina
Hakashina
Hana.
Hana.
Hakashita Hana.
Is there tables there?
There is tables.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's
there's
two.
like six, it's like super
There's two
exclusive.
tables?
This is a very exclusive Hakashita Hana. When you pull up on the infosphere, they do omakase style seating, and it is just 2 tables a night.
Maybe
It is
Spice will be bartending.
immensely selective. There is a bar that people can come and sit at, and you can see on the commercial they actually have, or on the commercial on the website, they do have a couple of like grainy infosphere captures
I think
of celebrities who have eaten
Yeah.
there. People such as Chet, people such as Celia Sweet, people who have really kind of exploded in the infosphere as of late.
Don Gorski.
Having Don Gorski's actually not pictured there. They did not make a great impression
Yeah,
on
he
the
got
chef.
Took his picture.
Freaky.
But yeah, you see a lot of stuff happening.
Bubs is not going to say Hakashina Hana. Is there a crowded restaurant?
There's a couple different
A
restaurants.
trashy restaurant, like an Applebee's.
But I will say, as you are doing this, you do note,
He takes her to Chili's.
as you are writing back, they have switched their status to do not disturb.
They went to bed.
Okay. No, it's fine. People don't know.
People go to bed, I guess.
Yeah.
You do see that there are a couple of places that you could go. Of course, there is a industrial goth nightclub that has popped up there called Apocalypse Kiss. They do have
Fucking
food
dope.
just for the hour that they
I'm
open,
drowsed.
and then that closes down. It's just drinks. You know that there is, of course, the Aura Bay Community College dining hall.
Oh no.
There is
Here's
the
You're making it seem like Hakashinahan is the only great place in this point.
there's Dirty Dirk's Adult Emporium.
Okay, I think.
Yeah, take her to Dirty Dirk's.
I mean,
What's
it's
that?
between a cafe, a school cafeteria, and
There is
Dirty
Jewel
Dirt.
Garden, a high-end restaurant that you enter down a crushed sea glass embedded concrete path. You had seen it was lined with these genetically modified pineapple plants. The
Nice.
building itself whitewashed, but you can see tinted glass, geometric awnings. There are fiber optics that like shine little lights through the window themselves. You didn't go in, but it looked very nice.
How many people are allowed to eat that?
There's no
Giving
like
him
number
ideas.
of like. There's no. It's enough that there is no like only 2 tables a night.
They take walk-ins, you fuck.
You can make reservations.
You could go to Moe's Diner. That is a little
Okay.
bit lower class, run by a La Junta. I don't think you've gone there, but it's a retro throwback diner.
That's not the one that we like shot out, right?
No.
I will go to the Crystal.
Okay.
That's a nice place, right?
Jewel Garden?
Yeah, Jewel
Yeah,
Garden. Okay.
Yeah, if you like Olive Garden. Olive Garden.
Is it? It's not Olive
It's
Garden.
not
It's
Olive
not
Garden.
okay.
This
It's
is
not Olive
another. This is
Garden.
another very high class place.
I tried to plant the seed.
Yeah, we saw.
If you're looking at Olive Garden, there is no. There's no like Olive Garden here. But no problem. You say that, and you hope that maybe that message will get
There
read.
is a Bojangles.
Though at the moment, you are left on red, or left on scent actually.
That's not as bad as red.
I
It's
don't
all
know.
getting
Depends.
intercepted
It really
into
depends.
the Shade's shell internet.
No,
So
people,
shade-
No,
is
this
fuck.
this has gone out. This is
People-
certainly
people-
gone out.
Shade is
It's just
catfishing
spice.
folks.
people get busy. They'll understand.
Sure.
And okay, all right. I've laid some good ground. I rolled 1 natural 20 for this.
Yeah.
It was. I will say.
One really high with makeup, and then another one that was also that I used my lucky roll. And I've been macking game, Joe.
You have this. This,
all the
this,
best for bubble
this was
gum.
a perfect moment. But you do all of that. Spice storms off, and yet again you are wet and alone and on the floor. You all find sleep over the course of the evening.
Bub's not even gonna clean it up. He's just gonna go to bed.
That's fair. You go to bed. You leave
So
this
upset.
for a
Don't
morning
laundromats
time.
have the like grates in the floor that are just like a
They do.
drain?
It's not a big enough mess that like it's going to drain down into one
Oh,
of those.
okay.
It just kind of stays on the floor and will be damp and a little bit mildewy in the morning. You make your way up to
Too
bed.
depressed to clean.
All of you can mark off a long rest.
And too tired.
Some of you more
Yay.
fitfully than others. And you come to. It is Saturday. It is Saturday morning, and as many of you do need to sleep in, it's Saturday morning at like 11 a.m.
Oh wait, no. Spice actually doesn't sleep because she redoes her decks
Okay.
up in her room. in
Shade
her
also
master
doesn't
bedroom.
need that much sleep.
That
Spice
goes
does
out.
need sleep, so I'm gonna
needs
be
sleep.
like straight up
She
exhausted
actually
if we go
takes
into
it
battle.
off.
I'm gonna take those penalties.
But luckily, the only battle is a laser monster Chronorita battle on the horizon.
Do I get a message back, Joe?
You do not.
Damn. Guess
Oh,
you're
you
gonna
wake
have
up
to
the
find
next
her
day
in
with
person.
on red, dude. Ooh.
Your message is read.
Damn it.
But at least at the moment, you get the sense that ignoring 15 straight text messages is not the way to a woman's heart. They were not only were they text messages, she felt very vulnerable after like saying these things, and had used it sort of as a bridge into asking you out, and then got nothing back, and like that's tough.
Does she know the time zone difference between Aphrodite and Oris Bay off the top of her head? Because 4
Almost
a.m.
certainly she does. Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
Bub's just gonna be like, fuck. What do I even say?
Bubbles,
ChatGPT.
just-
Fuck.
For free, there are some things that through text just aren't going to be read in like an effective manner. There are some things that are just much better said in person.
Okay, yeah, I'll just show up. I guess.
And you've seen. Make a cultures check.
Can I jinx an ally?
You're not here for this one. This is
17.
I'm imagining this is Bob's like
Plus
alone with
13,
his thoughts,
30.
trying to go to sleep. With a 30, you've seen Steele has shown you many Earth movies where people make grand romantic gestures, and maybe that's a way to win her back. You've seen some guy, can't remember his name, but just standing with a radio over his head outside somebody's window. The year is 2250. There's amazing technology at your disposal. Maybe there is something that you could do. But it would need to be grand to get the sense.
This sounds terrible advice.
It sounds what?
This sounds like terrible advice.
It's not the best advice, probably. But it is the only advice that you
I rolled a 30. That's what I get with a 30?
A 30 for what?
For a culture? Damn. Bubs.
That was more about.
Can I sense
like,
mode of my own thoughts?
Yeah. And that's
grand
just
romantic
the
gestures?
the 30 is for grand romantic gestures.
That's a free act.
The flavor is serendipity. Like that's probably Love Actually. It's not the best idea. It's a starting point.
Okay.
You
Bubs
fall
will-
asleep thinking about that, and then thinking about like better versions.
Yeah,
of that.
Bubs will look for more casual versions of it.
Acts of service. Like there are many ways. that you
Randomly
might be
bumping
able to-
into her.
Yeah, that might be an option as well.
Whoa, you went from grand acts of romance to randomly bumping into her. There's got to be some in between, brother.
Yeah, and maybe over the next couple of days you could think about what that in between will look like.
We'll get to that.
But all of you get some rest, and you wake up on Saturday. I will say, if you're not sleeping, Spice, you don't need to sleep in to the point where you're gonna run kind of close. You all know that this Laser Monster Card Arena tournament is happening right after lunch. So you do have some time in the morning to kind of do some things if you wish.
I'll short rest then, because then
Okay.
that'll actually bring me back to full health.
Take a little nap in the morning after building your decks.
Echo's gonna spend the afternoon in the apartment doing repairs on themselves.
Absolutely. Devastating amounts of
Would
damage.
you like assistance?
Great, let's do that. That's what our characters are doing all afternoon.
Bubs is gonna sulk.
That's what our 3 characters are doing while this tournament happens.
So, you spend a little bit of time repairing. Some of you spend some time sulking. One of you actually spends some time resting in the morning. And as we get a little bit closer to noon, because we are getting very close to the Laser Monster Card Arena and Spice, you're certainly like watching out the window. You can see there are a few people in costume like queuing up outside, getting ready to go. You do see Scott Dragonfist themselves kind of there ready to engage in this tournament. But because it is 9:30 and a good place for us to take a break, this is where we're going to end for the evening. For those of you who are not directly participating in the Laser Monster Card Arena, you can compete as one of your characters in Mosaic Team 5 if that would make sense. If
I know what I'm
not,
doing already.
If Chet's motherfucking there, I'm gonna
It's not Chet's not there.
attack
Chet
him in
can't
real
be
life.
there because Chet's gotta be at Prime Station right
Exactly, there's a con going on.
now.
You all do not have the ability to create a character. I have taken the liberty of creating some characters for you. And
Nice.
so, Cara,
Yeah.
there is a Skittermander character that you will be able to play. I will send you some details along with your deck list. This is a draft style tournament, so I will say, Spice, when you arrive, you will learn that a draft means that you draw random cards and build a deck from those. So for all of your deck building,
After all that time I spent building that.
I sacrificed my future.
I will say you do have an opportunity to attempt to cheat, and you could try to sneak
Oh,
some
that
cards
went so
into
well
your
last
deck.
time. Like, obviously.
Matt, if you are not playing as Shade, and I assume that you wouldn't be,
I get
I don't know, maybe
you
you can
sent
learn.
me it already, right?
there is a character named Kiddo Saiba. Son of a
No! Get out! That makes me Pharaoh then.
who I will
Don't know.
be doing this to. And I believe you were the one that sent me the character that I just mentioned as well. So you do have some characters ready to go. I will send you your deck lists literally just immediately because I have them right here. And Bubbles, are you going to be playing as Bubbles?
No, Bubs
He's
would play another character.
Okay. If you don't have one that you want to
I
do,
don't have one.
I have a human teenager with a pink mullet that you would be perfect for.
Okay.
And I'll send you the deck list for this person as well.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. We will be back next week. if you can't wait that long, you should check out our YouTube. The Influencers 2 is up there now. You can see a couple of characters from this campaign as they make their way to CorpoCon and rise to the status of Baroncy. But please stay safe. It is wild out there. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See you, Space Sparrow.